Welcome to Dwarven Forge Live. This is On the Anvil, episode 57.
There we go. It took you a bit, but you got it.
Coming at you. I was trying to get drama. This
Okay.
is the show about drama. No, this
That's
is
what
the
it
show.
sounded
You know, this is the show where we take you behind the scenes here at Dwarven Forge and show you what we're working on, show you what we're thinking, show you all the latest. Hang out, drink a beer, talk terrain. Did we do anything else on this show, Chris? I forgot to
we
get you
show
there.
we show Wildlands test shots for an hour.
Well, today we have
for today especially, we've got a lot today. But before we get to that, today, that's right, we're finally talking about the sci-fi survey results. If anybody guess what I referenced in the title. I actually have no idea if you care about
Howard
this
the
property or
Duck.
not. Howard the Oh, that'd be really good actually.
Yeah.
I should try that
Firefly?
at some point. No, ooh, Firefly'd be really good too. No.
Battlestar Galactica.
No.
Doctor Who.
No. You're never gonna guess it.
Some obscure video game that was only on ColecoVision.
Not a video game.
I will.
However, this was very popular with people who did like the ColecoVision, I'd assume. It's a show.
Land of the Lost.
No. You're never gonna get it.
I give up. Mork and
Somebody
Mindy.
got it. Was that?
Mork and Mindy.
So the title is Tom Survey. Not a Mystery Science Theater person?
And I didn't watch MST3K. Not my.
All right, yeah. Well, that's the risk that you take when you reference something that's not the
Fair.
most. Yeah.
Well, there's going to be a lot of references that maybe no one will understand
Yes,
today, or maybe
oh.
just me.
Chuck knows it. Large McBig Huge. I think it was Big McLarge Huge. Either way, it doesn't matter. Brick Hard Cheese was my favorite.
So
Yes.
we're gonna look at the latest Wildlands pieces. We're gonna talk sci-fi, and we're gonna have a giveaway in the middle. If you're new, we do a giveaway every show. So around the halfway mark, there'll be a secret word to throw in there. We're gonna show a fan build, and I think that's it, right?
It's basically all of it, yeah.
Yeah. We of course are. We'll see how much sci-fi time we have. We have a lot. We have 3 buckets of Wildlands stuff to look at. So we'll see how much, how far we get into sci-fi. I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah. The first, let's go ahead and cover the news. Then we'll get into the test shots. Then we'll get into sci-fi. You ready?
News. It's the news. Hey Chris, are we in the news? I couldn't tell.
We are.
That sound
We are in
machine
the
we
news.
have to do those news sound effects. Really amazing. All right. So what's in the news, Chris?
First off, I just want to say, as people who've been watching for a while know, we've been updating the website, like kind of revolutionizing it. Over
Revolutionizing it.
Yeah.
Well-
it's a big change. Let's be real.
I mean, our website was made in 1942. It's been around for like 80 years. So this
website's
overhaul.
been through a lot.
It's been through,
Like-
it's been through some tough times. So it's like this overhaul is really, it's good. We're
We
modernizing.
kind of lost it after the
Yeah.
after the 60s. Like,
So what's new on the website?
we have a bunch of new photo galleries now. Joanna's added a bunch of galleries representing a bunch of different biomes. So if you go through there's a lot of really nice beauty shots of a bunch of the pieces. If you go to the galleries tab at the top of the site, that's the latest edition.
And we have the fan builds are up there, and then all these curated galleries of stuff. It's fun to look at.
Yeah.
And video galleries coming soon.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then
This has been like a 10-phase website launch. We're about halfway through, and we're on phase 5, I think.
I've stopped keeping track of whatever
Yeah.
the phases are or whatever at this point. I'm just kind of letting myself find out what's happening as it happens.
And hey, Chuck.
Hi,
How's it
Chuck.
going?
He's been watching you.
Yeah.
Blast Hard Cheese.
Chuck made a
You would love that episode.
Chuck made a really interesting miniature of me today on Hero Forge.
Today?
Yes.
I thought he made it a while ago.
Well, he upgraded him with
Oh.
six arms, and each one shooting a different spell effect in a different direction.
For sci-fi.
Yeah.
I get it.
Just for because it's Chuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only about 20 years to go to the centennial of the website.
I think we'll make it.
Yeah. Which is odd considering that it's only our 25th anniversary this year. So the website, we actually made the company because there was a website that just needed somebody to use it, give it purpose.
It's been sitting there.
Yeah.
This is our 25th anniversary. So it'll be celebrated at Gen Con. Ooh.
Yeah. Well, more information on that later.
The celebration is we're going to put a logo on the website at the end. We have to do something.
We're just going to put a 25 on the...
I don't know.
It's like a D20, but it's got a 25 instead of a
D25.
A D25.
Yeah. So if anybody has any ideas what we should do for our 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
Silver anniversary.
If you ask them what we should do for a 25th anniversary, they're going to say like a bunch of giveaways.
Go on. You've piqued my interest.
In other news, speaking of you guys getting stuff from us, you remember the restock we were supposed to have that got delayed an unknown amount of time?
We missed the boat on that one.
Really, yeah, we missed the boat. So, good news. Theoretically, it's on a boat.
I love theoretical good news. No, theoretically, it will be on a boat.
Oh, theoretically, it's got a ticket.
In 3 weeks.
Okay, in 3 weeks, theoretically, it'll be on a boat.
Yeah.
The reason we say theoretically is that what happened with this delay before was on a Friday, they told us, cool, it was on a boat and got shipped out.
Well, first it was supposed to go out, and then it didn't.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, no, we found another boat, and that it's going to go out no problem. Like, we're locked in. And that was a random Friday. Mm-hmm. And then that turned into that Monday. They're like, oh, yeah, no, it's not on the boat.
Yeah.
Why? It's just on the boat. So now we have a new boat. We're on, conceptually. It's a phantom boat, or the ghost ship in 3 weeks. So theoretically, it's supposed to land around Labor Day.
Yeah.
Conceptually.
So, 25th anniversary 1x3 expansion set.
Mm.
You have a D24? How does that work?
People have made all sorts of crazy. There's odd numbered dice with odd numbered sides. There's like.
But what do you use a D24 for?
Oh, there's games that have made up things you need them for.
It's so odd. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, for hours.
So restock. We'll keep you posted if it actually hits the water and when it comes. But we're hoping it'll be a back to school restock.
Yeah.
And then who knows what our late fall restock? Who knows when that's gonna go? If I don't know. We're at the whims of shipping gods.
Worldwide shipping is a mess at the moment, and there's only so much we can do about it.
But we'll keep you posted.
But yeah, so it should be coming.
Yeah, soon. It's on the SS soon.
Let's see. Outside of that, we wanted to shout out a couple people who are doing cool things in the community. We got 4 different projects to shout out today. First is if you've been watching over the last month, you remember we interviewed both our friends at WebDM and our friends at Dungeon Dudes.
Woo!
They're both running sourcebook Kickstarters right now that are doing very well.
Crushing it.
But if you haven't had a chance to see them, WebDM did a really interesting. They're doing something called Weird Wastelands, and it's like a set of rules for surviving in like a kind of a post-apocalyptic magic universe. So there's like interesting like ways of managing supplies and all that. It's a very cool set of rules that you can kind of work into any game you're playing.
It seems like a rules supplement that also has setting stuff you can drop in, but it's like you can drop in a wasteland to any of your existing campaigns where it's just got a bunch of neat mechanics for sort of running survival stuff. It's got a Scion class. It's got a bunch of neat. It seems like a cool toolbox.
Yeah, dude, some of the monster creation tools in there are like really, really cool. And then Dungeon Dudes, if you're familiar, they've been doing a live play show on YouTube for a long time now, years. Yeah. And they've built like all of it with Dwarven Forge like over time. And Monty says it's like part of how he makes the campaign is just building with Dwarven Forge. And they've taken that campaign and that setting and they've made it into a source book so that you can also play in that campaign. It's an adventure module. It's doing really well. Just started. A lot of really cool stuff in there. A lot of really cool like stuff added to the pledge levels too. We didn't really talk about them much, but like having like a stuffed plush
the Rat King plushie.
Yeah.
The dice, nice. The DM screen. There's a lot of good thought went into all the stuff. What I'm excited about is it's basically a sandbox city that you could drop in anywhere. And I mean, it's a self-contained. There's a whole level 1 through 13 campaign that you could run through there. But also, it's just like you could drop Drakkenheim in anywhere. It's like cool. There's all the factions, all the delirium effects, all the contamination, the haze. There's a bunch of fun stuff you could just sort of drop in as a self-contained thing. Plus, they're doing a bunch of neat spells, contaminated spells.
Yeah.
Magic items. So it's just neat stuff. You can use a piece of delirium as an arcane focus to like enhance your spells, but then it gives you contamination, so you can do some crazy. I don't know. It should be really. I'm very excited for it.
Like DF. Yeah, that's the thing is like it's designed as a non-linear adventure, which is a really cool.
A cool sandbox that's reactive. That depending on which factions you're doing stuff with, it makes the other factions do stuff, and there's I don't know. It's really neat.
I'd love to talk to him more just about like the challenges of designing something that's non-linear, because you have to account for so many different possibilities.
Yeah.
Like it's.
I'm excited for it.
And then speaking of live play shows, there's a show called The Roll Seekers that a longtime Dwarven Forge supporter has been doing.
Show.
Yeah, and it's got a very cute intro, and they have a lot of really cool Dwarven Forge builds, and there's just like a nice, fun energy to it. And if it's your kind of thing, we thought we'd plug their channel so you can see it, check it out.
Yep.
Look, if nothing else, at least watch the intro video, because it's very well done.
Hilarious.
And yeah, if anybody's looking for a live play show to watch at the moment, there you go. And then also, speaking of playing, if any of you have kids that would like to play, Nate, do you want to talk about this?
The unexplored lands.
Yeah.
So there's a guy in California or Seattle. I don't know. He's on the West Coast somewhere, and he was running games for his kids, and he realized, I don't remember exactly how it happened, but he sort of, during the pandemic, he was like, you know what, had to do some remote stuff. He's like, you know what, I could probably do this for more kids and whatever, and basically he's launched a what is it, a company, I guess they call it. I don't know. It's not
it's a company. It's a business.
It's a website. So you go,
he's an entrepreneur.
You sign up for games. They run D&D games for kids ages 9 through 14, and you're in groups, so 9 and 10-year-olds together, 11 and 12-year-olds, 13 and 14-year-olds together. And he has a bunch of content written because he's run stuff for his kids, and he's kind of play tested it out and figured it out. And he has pre-built. He does these neat builds that are they're sort of very horizontally built with no front wall. And then kind of pans, it's very much like Vorpal board. He has like his camera on a gimbal sort of thing, and he just sort of pans it over as they explore the thing, but there's no front wall, so you can't see, so you can kind of see where they're going. He uses a lot of, no Dwarven Forge terrain, it's a lot of stuff that he's either made or 3D printed or whatever. But it's awesome. He's got a bunch of pre-made characters, or you can, like Grayson, so my son is playing, and he designed a character. He sent him as the intro package. They sent him a notebook to keep your notes in, some dice, a 3D print of your character, some stickers. Like, there's a whole little cool intro package after you play your first game. He painted up the mini and has it in there. And Grayson's playing a game with 5 other kids that are ages 9 and 10. So each game is capped to 5 people, and there's 2-hour sessions. You pay for the sessions, and it's just awesome. So now my son is playing two campaigns a week. He's 9, and he's playing 2 D&D campaigns a week, which is amazing. And it's just really neat. He teaches, if you don't know how to do anything, he does a whole intro session. Like, our neighbor is playing in Grayson's thing, so I did like a sort of a quick crash course with her, but she didn't really know what she's doing. He did like the intro thing, got her up to speed and run. So if you don't want to teach your kids to play D&D, but you want them to play D&D, you can sign up for this. Or if you want them to play more D&D, like what's exciting for me is it's just like another campaign that Grayson gets to play in with all kids. And it's like, and he's kind of like the king kid because he's been playing so much D&D already. He's like,
without you having to do all the
I don't do anything.
Work. Yeah.
I don't do anything. And the other thing is, like, he's got some handwriting challenges. I mean, I don't know if you've seen my handwriting. I think I passed it down to him. It's not so good, but like, he's taking notes. He got the little notebook. He's literally writing out his notes and practicing. And it's just, I don't know. It's just so awesome to see. And he's having like the best time in it. And I don't have to do any of the work, so it's really
age range.
neat.
It's like 9 to 14, but they group people of similar ages together,
Yeah.
right?
Pairs, like 9 and 10-year-olds, 11 and 12-year-olds, 13 and 14-year-olds. And here's the thing. I like to think that I run pretty good D&D games. So I was dubious. I'm like, this guy, he's like, if Grayson's gonna enjoy this, he's got the bar is set high. But he's loving it. He's absolutely having a good time. So it's high quality D&D. He's playing right now. Literally, his game is 5:30 to 7:30
well, that was the
on
thing,
Wednesdays.
Was like the last time we were doing this, he was in the middle of playing, so you were like looking for like updates like while we were setting up.
Yeah. No, it's really it's a neat thing. Oh, it's a family run. So his wife does the marketing, he does the DMing, and his 11-year-old son helps him come up with concepts that kids will like.
His son's like doing the game design.
It's kind of and is like the tester, like the beta tester of like is this gonna be fun? Can kids figure this out? Is whatever.
What's the price point on it?
It is $40 a session or $45 a session. I can't remember. And there's an intro. You can do a $13 intro like trial session to see if you like it. And he sends you like packages. Like you get the surprise intro package, and then he said there'd be drops to, but when they like complete like certain milestones, they'll send out little things. It's really put a ton, and he's so on it. I literally was like, I emailed him on a Saturday, and Grayson started playing that Wednesday. I was like, well, he wants to do a custom character. He was just like, boom, 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 boom. Had it like created a character in the Grayson had the mini the night before, or had the character. He designed the character in Hero Forge, downloaded the STL, printed it out, painted him, had it ready for the game the next day, and dropped it in the thing. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Hey, Crystal Sully's here.
Oh, hey, Crystal, how are you feeling? How is your lack of a gallbladder?
There's got to be a better way to phrase that.
I don't have it. The other neat thing, Grayson's group, it's 3 boys and 2 girls.
Nice.
So yeah, not like when I was
breaks down
playing,
that stigma early.
Yeah. So it's pretty exciting. Hope.
Down with the gallbladder.
No, she had like it was a whole thing. Like it's a lot of pain, a lot of drama, a lot of uncertainty, and now she's on the other side trying to figure out what actually she can eat without a gallbladder.
So she's doing good.
Okay.
So that's good.
Somebody's
actually just saying before this, you were asking like, what should we do for 25th anniversary? And somebody's saying we should have Crystal like design like a special Anvil thing for us, and
that's a great idea.
Get like a collector's edition printed out and stuff like that.
An Anvil dropped on a gallbladder.
Yeah. And then somebody else was saying that we should do a pre-order for Team Minis for the 25th anniversary.
Also pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are good ideas. I like this.
But yeah.
Well, glad to hear you're on the road to recovery, Crystal.
But yeah.
You know what we should do? We should show. Oh, wait, are we done with the news? We can show.
Oh yeah.
Crystal thing
Crystal,
first.
stay here. Yeah, we're done with the news.
Stay here.
Yeah, stay here.
Don't log off.
Nate, you want to explain what test shots are real quick?
Wait, one other piece of news.
Yes, what's up?
It's not really news. It's just. So I played D&D this weekend. No, this is news.
It's a personal story.
It's a personal story, but no. Well, so my home campaign is with my brother and his kids, and they live in Cambridge, and my son and I, and we live in Queens. And he was driving from he lives in DC and in Cambridge because he's a spy. I don't know. It's physics life. So he was driving with the kids down to DC and stopped.
He's not a theoretical physicist.
He is, yeah.
Is theoretical?
Yeah. He's making our theoretical boat.
Yeah, I was going to say, so he knows where the restock is. Yeah. Conceptually.
So he was driving with the kids down to DC and stopped. We're like sort of halfway between Cambridge and DC. Mm-hmm. So we stopped at our house and we played D&D in person. That was the big news. So I played D&D in person, which is like, I did it that one other time in like whatever Memorial Day or something, and I forgot how good D&D in person is. Like it's just real good. No offense, Thad. I love Vorpal board and anything, but like sitting in the same room with everybody, it's just the best. Anyway,
my home game has finally got like a couple weeks ago. We finally got to move it back to being in person, and
it's life changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really just so nice.
They can appreciate the build more, and they can appreciate everything. Like you're just there, and it's just the best. And this is in my garage without air conditioning in July in 90-something degrees, cramped. Like there's not even a table. Like they're just sitting in front of like a stack of crates that has this bill and thing, whatever. But like, just ultimate perfect experience. So anyway, I'm hopeful that that we're moving back towards being able to play D&D in person across the boards more regularly.
Merck is here and said they asked if I had a degree in theoretical physics, and I told them I have a theoretical degree in physics. It's a Groucho Merck for you, I guess.
Groucho Merck.
Yeah.
Anyway, Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go look at some stuff.
Yeah, let's show some cool stuff. You want to explain what test shots are? Actually, first, Crystal's saying, I wanted to say your product showing up on Instagram is what made my best friend ask me to teach him how to play D&D.
Wow.
Well, Crystal,
You know,
should show your friends some of the stuff we're about to show people.
Yeah.
And then you'll seem very, very cool to them if you
I
don't
bet
already.
Crystal
they've seen it
already seems very cool.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
like it's.
So test shots are our first. When we sculpt our pieces in clay, we do quick castings, resin castings using silicone molds, and then once we raise our money on Kickstarter, we actually go and tool these huge, heavy, expensive steel molds that are thousands of dollars and 300 pounds and crazy. And now, months and months later, like literally, it's I don't know. 8 months later, some of these pieces, 9 months later, we finally get to see a test shot as the first casting before they run the whole thing. They do a casting to make sure the machine's working and set us a thing cast in Dwarvenite so we can make sure everything's good before they run it. So we got some test shots, but we're going to skip to some of the paint samples. So after we approve test shot, then we get a paint sample. So this is, since we got Crystal here, I was getting closer. We've got, she did the design on this guy. This was the swamp basilisk, the cobra-inspired head, all the bazillion legs. Let's get even closer on this guy. I'm coming in over here.
As tight as the lens goes, I can move it physically.
Is it really? I disbelieve. Here, I'll move it even closer.
Oh, all right. Yeah, get the sacks on that.
Yeah. So this is this was the one. This was like in the middle of the Kickstarter. I was like, Crystal, please, can you just drop everything and just do one last design for her? We need this thing. We got to just get sculpted everything, and she did, and he came out awesome. And so this is the Bleakmeyer variety. So this is well, he's upside down. So the swamp basilisk is the Bleakmeyer basilisk. And what makes him Bleakmeyer is he's got glowing, pulsing LEDs in his head. Wait, let's get closer. Look at that glowy, pulsy, glowy. Ooh.
I love both of these paint schemes. Like they are different enough that I feel like it's that you feel like different things. Crystal says her friend was shocked when she says they look very nice. Her friend was shocked when she told him she did work with us.
This is like there's so many cool design choices she made, right? Doing this like cool cobra hood, which then we could backlight with the lights here and the weird bulbs on the forehead. The whole thing, I don't know, just this sort of the shape of this guy.
I'm really happy with the way that it came out. I love like how metallic the scales underneath feel on this one. It makes them look wet.
Yeah, he's a good. This is as dangerous. Like I've always liked basilisks.
Basilisks. Yeah.
And I've kind of like they feel like they've gotten smaller and weaker as we go. So this was like, let's make a basilisk to end all basilisks. I mean, this thing is absolutely. This is a large bordering on huge. This is probably a huge, right? This was a 3-inch base would be. Do we call them large?
I'm pretty sure we called it. We didn't call it large. It's got to be huge.
Yeah, it's got to be.
It's definitely bigger.
It's
than
big.
Large.
Anyway, so this was amazing crystal magic, queen of anatomy, and monster madness.
Think this will be in the store? Yeah, at least some of these will be in the
Yes.
store.
Yeah.
Not sure how well we'll be able to restock it, but at least it'll be hitting the store initially.
Oh, and I have an unpainted. Wait, I didn't.
Can we
bring
see
it
with
in.
less light? Oh, they want to see the LEDs with the lights off.
Oh yeah. And while you get the lights off, I'll get the other.
Do that. Oh, those lights.
Oh,
We gotta hit those separately. Kill that one. Kill the other one.
They kill these. That's awesome. So here's also, check this out. This is the unpainted version. If you get this guy, you can then paint it yourself because you have a lot of leeway. Like, look at that head. There's a lot of leeway to figure out where where you're going to mask out the light and where you're going to let it through. I mean, I think we designed them to have those effects. So there's 3 LEDs in there. There's one forward facing for the drive the eyes, and there's 2 backwards facing to hit both of these these weird sacks. I don't know, what are these sacks, Crystal? The glowy sacks that kind of project backwards and under like this hood.
Yeah, we've just been calling them sacks. Crystal, is there like a is there a scientific term for it that we're not aware of? That
Those are her gallbladders.
venom glands, what she calls them.
Okay, venom glands. That's better than sac.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Well,
you got a hell of a thyroid on them, I'll tell you that.
It's a hyperthyroid.
Yeah.
So that should be a fun paint project if you want to figure out what you could do on this.
Yeah, I got at least one of every mini unpainted, but like with that, I'm like very excited to do like a different.
Didn't you get 6? Oh, there's the Myrmidon. What did you get? Like
I got a lot of Myrmidons, both painted and unpainted. I needed to justify them existing.
Fair. But you can do a fun thing where you just turn the light on, like the player sees thing. I mean, the image is right. They're coming through the dark, wet swamp, and then there's some light, something moves, and there's this glowing thing, and they look, and they get mesmerized as this thing, and then they realize they're staring in the eyes of a basilisk.
Yeah, and if you saw in the bestiary, or bestiary?
Bestiary.
Well, that's the thing is, I always say bestiary, and then I think everybody always corrects me and says, no, it's bestiary. I'm like, why? It's about beasts.
Yeah, it's a bestiary.
But yeah, and so one of the advantages we gave the LED one over the other one is like it has like an enchanting kind of effect to it to try and make them look more.
That's the whole point of the hood is it's supposed to draw your eyes in so you want to look at this thing, and then you get turned into a snack. So anyway, so that's our painted basilisk family. Look at that happy little family. Thank you, Crystal. All right, let's go back to unpainted stuff. So we'll look at the unpainted stuff first, and then we'll look at the painted stuff. Man, we've got a lot of. Okay, let's start with revisions first. There's a lot. There's a lot in here. I don't even know where to start. All right. This is a revision of the. This is the Fey Wellspring. It's not much to look at in clear, but it had the bottom mark where it says like Dwarven Forge and the skew, whatever, was right over the middle of this beautiful rippling pond and ruined it. So we moved it off to the side so it's nice and clean. Not so much to see. This is much better to see it painted because it's hard to tell what the heck it is in clear. But it's a really cool enchanted wellspring. Similarly, just a quick revision. Show you where is it? I somehow took it out of here. We got the spill out.
Apparently, Crystal's getting into 3D sculpting now. By the way.
Yes.
She said it was really fun to design. Like, I'm glad it was fun because that was dropped on you like last minute. That was like a week before launch.
I thought it was during launch. Yeah.
It was like days before going up. We realized we needed another.
What do we got? Oh, wait, we got. Did we look at the projecting roots? I can't remember. I don't know what we've.
We might as well show them.
Do we look?
Do we have stuff to like? Do we have like a bank with a hole for it?
You bank on it. We get.
So waterfalls and wellspring are for sure clear, or have some blue.
Clear. I think.
It's most likely clear.
Yeah.
It's going to be very unlikely that. Odds are, if we want to do them in blue, it would raise the price an unfortunate amount.
Yeah. And then they just do this light ink.
Because they wouldn't be able to use the same clear they'd be using on the other LEDs.
So these, I got a whole bunch of things going on here. We got this. So these are the projecting roots that you can pop on and then put your tree on there, and it feels more, I wanted to say mandrake root, mangrove. All right, the cool projectee roots. It's the large one. Here's the small one. And then I have the 1-inch extension. So the large modular tree trunk bases, that just rolls off the tongue, in Dread Hollow tapered. So these do not taper. So if you want to make your tree taller, you can do this and then put your large tree on top without.
I still cannot get over how much easier all of the actual Dwarvenite stuff fits together compared to the prototypes.
You should have seen City Builder. Yeah. And then this one's the short one, the small one, and it has this branch which is removable, and you can swap it around and pop it into your escarpments or whatever. You can hang it off your. We'll get to this guy in a little bit. Hang it beside your. Tybus is here.
Yeah.
Did you tell him we're doing modular sci-fi ships before?
Well, everybody started freaking out when we said we had a boat earlier. So.
We do.
Yeah, in theory.
Theoretical boat.
But
how did it work?
No, he's saying.
Oh, Tybus.
He's saying. Oh, did you have to do the basilisk last minute because you cut the unicorn.
I've murdered all the unicorns. I turned them to sand.
Butilarity. I heard KS9 is all unicorns. Man, I guess the unicorn thing isn't going to get dropped.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things from the back half of Wildlands was that that running bit.
I can barely remember the back half of Wildlands. Like, Wildlands is one, like, weird blur.
Basically what happened was somebody asked why Nina always sculpted such, like, grotesque things. And she said that she wanted to do a unicorn, but you wouldn't let her. So then everybody started demanding that you let her do a unicorn for Wildlands.
And then it turned undead or something at one point, right? And
yeah, then it turned into a lot of things. But the point was getting a unicorn.
Did we show this?
And Crystal Soul is saying she would design an incredible unicorn.
Yeah, she would.
Yeah.
Can it have a cobra hood?
You can have a unicorn in the city.
Yeah.
In, like, the upscale part of town. That's just a horse, you know?
No, it's a unicorn.
No, but, like, in fancy town, like, they use unicorns.
No, you can't just ride a unicorn around. It's like a great celestial beast, a guardian of nature.
That's what the mounted police.
They don't.
That's what the mounted police ride in upscale neighborhoods.
No, they ride like griffins or something. You can't just ride a unicorn around willy nilly. They're like, there's not a lot of unicorns. They're like a.
That's why they're reserved for the upscale town. Like.
I can't even.
There's not a lot of them. So that's why they're in one very particular place.
So this is the LED buttress for the ruins, and we trimmed this thing is trimmed off so because it's lining up kind of funny here.
Elf mounties.
It's the it's the arcane globe. Also, it's got a nice little pole accessory in the bottom. Like, look at that. These Michelle details. Again, just my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, she really got to go just all out on the ruins.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to get the paint back for these.
You know what Rabbit Burner's favorite part of Hagglethorn Hollow is?
The ruins?
The ruins. Yeah. It's a riddle. It's a.
I don't know if it's a riddle when the answer is more obvious than the question. Yeah.
Fair.
Although, man, that makes a pretty good riddle.
What makes a good riddle?
What is a riddle if the answer is more obvious than the question? Certainly sounds deep. I actually don't have an answer for it.
Yeah, my head just exploded.
Love the
Did we look at this guy before?
Yeah, we looked at that one.
We did? Okay.
Yeah.
So that guy's dead to me. Did we look at the wyvern nest?
I think so.
Did we?
I think we did.
I had it in the pile that I couldn't remember if we looked at this or not. Did we look at those guys all three together?
I mean, look, nobody's going to complain about getting to see things again.
Little nest, little eggs. Oh, why is it so dark? It's because I didn't turn that other light back on. Helps a little. Yeah, fun little nest, little eggs. This guy fits super nicely in there. We didn't look at these drift stones, right? Did we?
We had a driftstone before.
We didn't have the. This
but
is the large
we didn't
and
have
the
enough
small.
Driftstones. We didn't have enough driftstones last time to actually put driftstones together.
Yeah.
But now we do. Do we have all the driftstones now?
Yes, we have one of each. I don't think I have them all in here, of course, because that would be too easy. But we have.
Wish for Nest is a standalone or in a set of things.
Which what?
They wish the Wyvern Nest was a standalone or in a set of things. Currently,
It's tough to do a set of just two little things. Like if there was like a monster accoutrements.
Yeah. Wyvern Nest or sci-fi if you explore enough of the multiverse.
That's amazing. Look at that thing. This is where you totally want to keep your wyvern eggs, like floating in this thing up in. Yeah, I'm very excited with these drift stones. I'm gonna build a crazy something.
Crystal's still on the unicorn thing. I don't know, man. We might. Why do you hate unicorns?
I don't hate unicorns.
Apparently, everybody wants it.
I don't want to fight a unicorn.
Crystal wants to design it. Nina wants to sculpt it.
Fight a unicorn. So here's the thing.
Do you want to be on the right side of
history? I want to make monsters. I want to make monsters that you fight. I don't want to make monsters that you want to.
You don't think it?
Like,
So you don't want to be the one who makes a unicorn that you want to fight? You don't want to be the one to break that ground? That's what you're telling me?
I hate you.
But I've got a point, right?
You do. I mean, and people have done, like, they did it in Massive Darkness, did like a, like, people were begging for a unicorn, so they added a unicorn in there, and I don't know. It's, I want to do like just a terrible, hideous, violent thing that you want to destroy, and not like.
That's just how I feel about horses, though.
You
Like-
you want to destroy horses?
I don't,
You
well, I
clearly
don't
didn't
know
grow up in Vermont.
I'm afraid that horses are going to destroy me is the main thing. I'm not
they're-
a horse guy.
They're large. They're large.
I can't read them, and
creatures.
they're definitely large enough to kill me. So I have a very hard time.
They can't read either, so you guys are in the same boat. This is the small driftstone. This guy is a scatter. The big, large driftstone, also a wonderful scatter. Like, God, I'm so excited for these things. This is the step.
I can't wait for them. I can't wait
We
for
got all
us to
the
have them
teardrops.
painted.
Let's check these out.
Ooh, do we have an insert for them?
Dude,
The
we
whole
have the
form?
whole
Nice.
caboodle. The whole lineup.
Get ready for 40 minutes of teardrops. 40
Just
minutes
ask
of
me
tears.
about just ask me about unicorns, and I'll give you 40 minutes of tears. Like, I want to make like just hideous, like, you know, I don't know. Unicorns are just too nice. Like, I don't want to make a.
My family rescues donkeys, so I find this all just hilarious. That's from Crystal again.
It's true.
Her family rescues
Yeah.
donkeys, as if she needs like another reason
It's
to.
the
be like-
prelude to her book.
Yeah. Wait, really?
Yeah.
40 minutes of tears is my morning wake up routine.
This is the spike pit. I don't know if you see. Get in. Are we tight? Get tight. Get tight. Little spikes. Whoa, deadly. Oh, I'm missing one. Wait, we got the. This is the puddle.
Yeah, it's a little. It's basically like the basic swamp insert.
Yep. The rock. This is also good jumpy stone.
Yeah.
It's good, you know. That guy's
It's a
gonna
jumpy
go.
stone. It's like
little
there's a
step
couple
one
that are
if you
just
wanna
for
go
making
up.
it look natural. Yeah.
And it's got a hole to catch your drift stones or whatnot. And then this is the stump.
Uni jammers.
Uni jammers. Dude, Uni was my, like, the best part of the D&D cartoon. Uni jammers. It's like flying, it's like giant unicorn spaceships.
Modular ships like on the backs of unicorns. It's like a world
I'd
turtle.
be
It's
into
like a
that.
world turtle situation, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
yeah.
I'm here for that. Wait, where's, oh.
So being a poacher that captures unicorns makes me a bad person then, huh?
Oh, this guy's good.
Hot dog horns. These
So
are the
this-
revised teardrops. Yeah.
Oh, this one is the, this is the Burroughs one, certain one. So this guy, this takes, you can take your, well, that's a bad example because it's soft silicone, that's the web, but you can put your Burroughs, look at that, so you finally have a place to put those, like freestand those eggs. Ooh. It's like, ooh, look at that light.
He
yeah,
said
this thing's-
Burrows. Everyone cheer for Burrows.
Yay, Burroughs! And then, you know, you could put some light underneath, do the thing, boom, boom, and you could have like your glowing eggs, like just on wherever.
You want to test that?
So, you ready to see these teardrops in action? Are we ready to,
Yeah.
after all the wait, like we're down to, Chris, we're down to like 5 pieces left that we haven't seen or something. Vencura, the Oracle Pool and its inserts,
The Nexus.
and the Spore Claw. No, we got the Nexus.
We got
right
the
here.
Nexus?
Yeah. Yeah, we're down to
I haven't even seen
5
this.
things. Two inserts, the pool, the Spore Claw and Vencura. 5 things. It's exciting. Okay, so teardrops. Let's start with this one. All right. Wait, where is it? Oh, I probably have to take a picture. Oh, I just got them. I was gonna say I took a picture for the update.
Okay. Well, we've got time.
No, we'll do it during the update. Yeah. This one is not as tight as some of the other ones, but it fits. And then, of course, they also fit on top, which will probably happen a lot. Let's put a pool in there. Let's put a spike trap in there. And let's say you already have Pathfinder.
Nate, are you bringing back Build of the Month since the delay of cities?
Oh, we'll talk about that at the very end.
Yeah, at the very end,
Let's
we've
talk
got some
Let's
stuff.
talk the plans. Look at that. You put your poison bloom in there.
Nice.
You know, this poison bloom kind of looks like if Crystal was going to design a creepy plant. I feel like this has got some crystal in it because I think she and Nina have a lot of similar design sensibilities.
I think they're a good pair.
Anatomy choices.
Is that spike trap the trap from the burrows? Yes.
Yes. No.
Wait,
the spike trap
that's a
from
new
the
spike
burrows
trap?
is no. This is the new one. This is I don't have the burrows
Right,
one
because
here, but
they're
the
like
burrows
slightly
one is
different.
smaller.
They're slightly
yeah.
different footprints.
Well, it turns out I like spike traps. What can I say? So then, this one is a really good, right? When you put this in, you get your little passage down, or put your eggs or whatever you want in there. Rare.
Do you want to try it? See if this goes through. Oh.
Disco party.
It's
and
an interesting LED, but yeah, that comes through pretty strong actually.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's to attract all the, I don't know, insect egg lovers to the egg emporium.
Any egg lovers in chat?
Any insect egg lovers? All right, so we got that. So this is the clearing floor, 6x6. Obviously hard to see in unpainted.
It's hard to see all the little details when it's.
It's just riddled with details. This is the path. So to see, but there is a path that runs through here.
So what are you doing for the teardrops and the huge hummock? There's gonna need space. Right? Oh, you're showing that today?
Yeah.
All right, Capel, you're about to be shown.
Yeah.
Yes. Crystal says she has a deep love for carnivorous plants, so you're spot on.
See?
Nina has great taste.
These are all facts. This is the last swamp bank we're missing, the diagonal. All right, you put your little insert in there. Oh. Can we just have Wildlands in everybody's hands already? It'd be great. Thank you.
I would love to. You want to go?
Yeah.
You want to fix the world real quick?
Yeah. I mean, if we're gonna fix the world, I think there's things we should probably prioritize over just getting people's toys sooner. But yeah. All right, so we got those ones. Oh, you ready for the hummock?
Yeah. Let's get the hummock. People are excited about that hummock.
These floors. These are so excited. The forest builds that are coming. Everything. It's all coming. All right.
Honestly, shipping has more problems than the actual shipping right now, considering the fire.
So check this out. Ooh, what is this? So it's a little tricky. You have to pinch. Boop.
Hummock lummock, according to David Moffat.
Sold. The old lummock. So it's I don't know if you see, there's 4 little prongs on the sides of this thing.
Is it also dwarfenite, or is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it fits into, there's 4 little holes here. So what are we going to load this up with, Chris? Should we do the burrows insert so we can get crazy with that? Okay. So you load in your whatever you want. You pop that thing in place, and then boom, it's not. Oh wait, I'm not on camera. It's like anyway, so you can move it around. So what's neat too is because it's so you can put your eggs there or whatever. Do I have other inserts here? Oh, I've got the plane. I don't have the spikes, but you could have this be like a dirt patch, and then when the thing pops open or whatever, because the whatever this is, the plug is, we left a hole in there so that you can, this travels all the way through, so you could use this as, a tunnel down to whatever, darkness, or you put light under there. You could conceptually even put the fogger under there.
Seraphis is wondering how you missed this in the campaign. It's because I don't think we had figured this out in the campaign.
No, we just knew we were going to do something, we just didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could
nice.
theoretically, or it'd be better if it was raised up on a thing, but you could
Don't put all your eggs in one hummock.
That's what my mom always told me. No, you could do something.
Crystal's saying she's going to DM her first game this fall.
Woo!
And she'll have to get some Dwarven Forge.
Yes.
Monsters included. Let us know what you're looking for. We'll help you out.
Uh-oh. We out of water?
Navigating all the sets can be. Did we just run out of water on that fogger?
No, I
there it
think I
goes.
was in. I think I was in interval versus no. I don't know.
DFY stuff's not on ships yet. It's not on ships yet, but we do have a reservation for a ship in 3 weeks.
For the restock?
Assuming nothing happens to it for the restock. Yeah.
Yeah.
So theoretically, it'll be shipping out in 3 weeks.
All right. So this is our hummock. Very excited about.
What sets did that piece come in?
The hummock?
Oh man, the hummock is.
I think was it its own The large hummock?
It got its own pack, but like I think it was probably in one of the hard ofs. I don't think it was in any of the scatter. No, because it's a sculpted floor, so I think it was in hard of for sure.
No, it's not a sculpted floor.
It's not a sculpted floor?
No, it's freestandy. It's.
Oh.
I think it's in the war game. I honestly, I couldn't tell you. I would be hard pressed to tell you what's in any of the sets, other than the big megas, which basically I just shoved everything in.
Yeah.
So look at that. So you can put like your poison bloom in it, and then just fly it around. Yeah. Plus.
That's our spaceship.
Yeah. Well, you can do neat things with putting this on top of the drift stones. You can do a fun. I can't
There's
see.
its own add-on. Also explore the forest and the mega forest and mega swamp. Thanks, Jeffrey.
Woo! Wasn't it in
He
any
still has
of
the
war
entire
game?
thing memorized.
That's amazing.
What was that?
Wasn't it? I thought it was in one of the war games. I don't know. But also, this guy has got.
It feels big for a war game, but I
It's
don't know.
got paired pegs here, so you can attach your bridge or your suspended whatever.
That helmet is a very fully featured.
You know what we also did that we didn't. That after post campaign we flattened this out so we can get the bridge on here too.
Ooh,
In
we
fact,
can have
I
a
guess I have to
diagonal
demo
bridge.
that, don't I?
Can you go grab a bridge?
I
Pay attention to the comments real quick.
don't know where.
Lex Mill says, been searching for a good fogger on the internet to use with builds, but cannot find a decent one. What kind of fogger are you looking for? Because we've got our floor fogger, but that's really meant for kind of like puffs of steam, like up through cracks in floors and stuff like that. We use Fog Monster for like, kind of laying like some ground fog, but it's not like a ton of fog. It's not going to fill your whole table. For like a small build, it'll. I can hear him in the headphones. He's really loud.
Where are you?
Just gonna mute him real quick. All right. Let's just mute him every time he leaves the room. Honestly, sorry about that. That was very loud. Let's see. What was I talking about? The fogger situation. Yeah. Yeah. Fog Monster is kind of the go-to for like lighting small builds, or not lighting, for like fogging small builds or having like some like light fog like rolling through a forest, stuff like that. Like we use it a lot for our pictures. Oh, we get unintentional beans from Nate's rambles. He's not gonna be talking about any beans right now. However, at the end of today, who knows? Something might slip. And that's not me dropping a bean about a bean. Here he comes.
All right.
Hot mic Nate is a tradition and you can't take it away from us. That was very loud. I wasn't gonna lit all the
I
steam.
I couldn't find the drawer. I must just skipped it somehow. All right, so we can do. So you can do like that sort of a gag. Of course, I didn't grab anything to attach it to on the other side.
There's got to be
I think-
something else there that's compatible.
Yeah,
You know what? You know what's compatible? The Nexus.
Oh yeah,
And I'm very excited about that.
yeah. I'll have to look at that next, huh? Yes.
Just
next.
water base, useful about 24 by 36 base. Then I think a Fog Monster might actually be good for you. Fog Monster just uses plain water.
Fog Monster 2.
Yeah, Fog Monster 2 works a lot better than the first one. We tested ours last week, and they're working pretty good.
Yay. It's totally the rocky outcrop. Pop on there. Woo.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good looking hummock.
Didn't know it did that? Yeah, we there's a lot with Wildlands in particular. There's so much crammed into so many of these pieces that it's
You
very
don't want to hear
hard to stay
another?
on top
Let's see
of
if I can
everything.
let's see if I can remember which ones it is. There's two. I think it's the forest. Is it? Maybe it's the swamp stumps. Two of the stump lumps are designed to nestle up and fit on top of this, and I can't remember which.
Got the Fog Monster 2. It's great, but man, it puts out some water. Yeah, one of ours kind of drools a bit. So we're gonna see if just like fiddling with it can get rid of the drool, and if not, we'll just need to either stick with using the other one or come up with some solution for stopping a place from completely soaking the table. How does fog impact Dwarven Forge pieces with
Oh, yeah.
electronics? Any concerns? All of our electronics
yeah.
are pretty sealed up, so
This one was designed. I couldn't remember all the things we like. This was. These are designed to fit on the hummock so nicely.
as long as you don't like submerge your LED pieces, there
No,
shouldn't
this
be
guy
problems,
I
right?
guess I didn't do. Yeah, don't submerge your LED pieces.
But like
Let's not be.
the
crazy.
odds of a fogger messing up your LED pieces are
Oh,
pretty
yeah, we'll
low.
get there when we go. Yeah, I've never had the fogger destroy any of our LED pieces. I've had to destroy a wormwood prophecy table.
See, that's a problem. But most of the LEDs
Prototype,
are like
yeah.
most of the most of the electronics in our pieces though are like sealed off enough that unless
Yeah.
you actually like dunk the piece.
Yeah. No, your
No-
table
nothing
is
should
going to
get-
take the hit, not the terrain.
Yeah.
All right, so that thing we got now. We
Dwarven
get.
Forge is just fine with Fog Monster 2. Yep, we've had no issues with the Fog Monster, and looks like Nerd Botchery hasn't either. Glamour Leaf! I think we showed this before.
I can't remember. Oh yeah,
you
did
want
I
me to-
trim it on camera? No.
You trimmed it on camera, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know what it's doing in the pile then. Do we see the bone broom?
We did. I think we did.
The happy.
It's a
clam?
cool thing to show off, though. Do you have a mini to drop in it? We don't need to go
really?
grab one if you don't. It's fine. We should just keep a 4-scale mini.
I know.
Oh, the Wailuli's like larger than average, and it still fits in there.
Did we show off the Wailuli? We did. Hey, these are another crystal.
Oh yeah,
They're not
is she
painted,
still
so they're hard to see
here?
the details.
Is she still here? She'll probably get that Glamour Leaf. I'm very excited for it. It's a beautiful piece.
These guys, she did design on where tigers.
She designed everything except for Vancouver, I think, when it came to monsters.
No, she designed Vancouver.
She designed Vancouver?
Mm-hmm.
Right, Russ sculpted it, but she designed it.
Mm-hmm.
Did she design every monster in?
The Myrmidon, she did not design.
Right, because that was
from
carried over
Hellscape.
from Hellscape. Right.
All the new monsters in Wildlands were crystal. We'll get when we have the painted versions of these guys. They'll show a little.
That's the hard thing with test shots sometimes, since it is.
It's like black on a black table, not the. You see this guy?
Maybe we
This
should
is-
get like a, well, maybe not white, but something. Yeah, we
Crab
showed
lily,
him,
showed
but I
crab
love the crab
lily.
lily.
Did we show the alligator? We showed we showed the. I wanted to call it the turf. The tang.
Can we see tigers by a normal-sized mini?
Thorn. Nettle grouse. Nettle gorse. It's hard to remember these names. Did we show the alligator, the Nina alligator skull?
I don't think so. That's a fun thing to put on a boat.
Or anywhere,
Yeah.
right? Just sort of some antlers, a croc skull, some rope. I mean, you can just bedazzle anything. It's on a mossy rock mound here, but it can.
I'm gonna grab a normal-sized mini real quick. They want to see a
Yes.
comparison between that and the Wailuli.
Mephit reed, exploding plants. Yeah, some of these tiny little test shots are hard to see, but we'll have painted ones soon. The viscolid, the wyvern. Oh, this is a neat. So this was Michelle sculpted this the wyvern skull cairn, and we did a casting of the wyvern, and cut off his head, and shipped it to Michelle, so she could figure out the head. So this is based on Crystal's wyvern concept art, based on then Drew's sculpt of that art. So it's got there's 6 eye sockets, and whatever. It's hard to read in this tiny thing, but it's a really neat little. Michelle did a really cool job of sort of translating what the skull of that thing would look like, and it's awesome.
Everybody's asking to see the nettle gorse now. Nice. How big is that compared to a mini?
Man, it would help if I could actually just. Wait, why are we over here? Come over. And see. Here we
I don't know. Like we were showing a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. We're moving around.
go.
That's difficult to get through.
Yeah, what's fun is it conceptually maybe doesn't block line of sight, but it blocks movement.
And let's throw the
And-
let's throw the Wailuli in there real quick, just while we've got it there for scale.
Where are they? There. It's hard to see with the height, but the height is. He's like.
Maybe we tilt it to.
We just have to drop go down on the legs.
I think we could just tilt them up to.
Conclusive.
Yeah, Much different.
Does that help?
They're supposed to be large compared to a medium creature, basically. Oh, where'd the water come from?
There's no cap on the fogger because we don't have a cap on the prototype.
You put it... So you put it on its side?
Yeah. See, it's funny. They are large.
I probably grabbed a... Your mini is vertically inclined.
He likes to... He's big. He's dramatic. I try to do something different from myself.
Yeah. You're so. Is demure a word?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it
Describes
the
me
word
perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Gonna need to get one of those skulls to display next to a wyvern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when we've painted one too, it'll pop better. All right. Chris was alluding to it.
Here we go.
Here's the Oblivion Nexus. This is the official name.
Oblivia.
Oblivia. I may have to go a spickle wider. There you go. All right, so this is a...
It's a big piece.
I mean, that's
This is the
compared to an
junior,
office.
too. That's the funny thing.
Yeah. So, what are all the amazing things about it? Besides all the great Wyverstone, we've got bridge pegs over here. So you can use a touch bridge too. Got bridge pegs over here. I take it back. You know, I really thought I'd design this to have bridge pegs in the front. Well.
Is this something we gotta adjust? Or is it because it's supposed to have like steps up there?
I have to go look at the mock. I can't remember. I thought I had pegs in the front. I know I definitely had them over here, but I thought I had them here.
Yeah. I only remember the bridge happening on the back. Oh wow, the fissures in the
Oh yeah, we get
top piece.
it's fissure test.
Everybody's telling you to get the drill. You can't. He's like, it's not. You'd have to drill 2 holes of the appropriate size and the appropriate distance
best
apart.
Audience.
It would take the rest of the stream.
I don't
to
know
do
where
it
the
right.
square rods are. And I wanted to show it's got the horizontal spots here and here, so you can suspend drift stones off of it. It's got a spot for vertical.
Have it like at the very peak of like a really tall crag
Yeah.
and a bunch of drift stones hanging off it.
It's got a vertical one, so you can do like, you know, if you want to get crazy. There's ample opportunity for craziness. We've got, ready for the best part, oh. So the lid comes out, so you can have your, you can drop down. I mean, the whole idea is right to go to use it as a portal to the Shadowfell or Hellscape or whatever. It's got a nice big old hole in there. The lid also, this would be just a neat thing to put like freestanding on a lava, you know, in a magma river or a lava terrain tray or something. Just a totally questionable place to jump as a player. It's show the cracks through it. And then it's got the hole in the bottom for the fogger, so you can do...
Kodiak thinks it looks cool.
Hey, Kodiak! So happy to have you joining us week after week. I hope you're feeling better each day. So we have some fun fog capability there.
Then you just have like the big bad like perched behind the fog.
Doing your like monologue. We can also you can pop the you can pop it over the if you've got the lid on. Am I in interval mode? What's going on?
Is it on puffer mode?
No, but it's been acting funny. I don't know why. Prototype number 1.
I don't know why the first prototype isn't working perfectly.
Well, the first of the new design, but
yes.
Yeah. You can put anyway. The fog goes through because of these cracks. You can blast fog out the back or at the front.
Gentleman Wake brings up a good point.
Hey.
All the water spilled out, so that's one thing.
Well, yeah, we get that. There's
We just put it on its side with no
details.
cap.
Yeah. What What else is this thing? I wish we get the light puck working. We'll show that under here, but not not today.
IME is wanting to see the opposite side of the lid piece.
Oh, it's not double-sided.
It's not.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
No. It says Dwarven Forge.
I guess it has to have a dead side somewhere.
Buy it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to, but it helped us a lot because A, we didn't have to sculpt it, and B, it's just a lot easier to manufacture without it. This thing was already a pain.
With everything going on with the piece already, to increase the cost by.
I cannot wait until we have a sculpted one to look at. The painted one. This turns out it's
once it's actually like painted.
Yeah. And originally we were going to have the fissures in the front. We were supposed to have these two. Smoke was supposed to come out of these two things. We were having a whole bunch of problems with the inner tubing, so it's now just one blast, one straight shot through.
I think it still sells the effect, right?
I mean, fog comes out of it.
Once it's painted and you've got like cool lighting and fog, it's going to be.
I mean, yeah. I can connect it to. Is this the same height? Let's see.
Actually, that can be a cracked floor or a dais.
Yep, totally.
David,
it's a really neat.
Does it have the right footprint to like slide into any of our round stuff? I guess it's not
probably
round,
because they're designed to be able to sit. Oh yeah, because that's the.
How else can you hide the fogger other than the forest floor? We have a mountain floor that is specifically made.
We have we can also look at the hole knoll.
You got the hole knoll? Yeah. I like that he shouted to make sure I heard him, even though he still got the.
We have any of the holes with a teardrop insert. What the heck am I looking for? Oh.
Let's see. Use that circle piece as a doorway too, kind of like a side rolling doorway. I really want us to make a rolling. That's a really good idea, Knighthood. I really want us to make a. If we ever go back to catacombs, like I thought one of the coolest things we could have is like one of those vault doors that like rolls to the side out of the way. Like I thought that'd be a really cool thing to put in like a catacomb situation or tomb. So we don't currently have something like that. I don't think it'd be fun to just have like a door roll out of the way. And then having like the sci-fi like shutter sliding doors would be great.
Sliding doors.
Well, they're talking to Knighthood was talking about you could put that top piece on its side to be like a circular door. We were talking about like the idea of having like one of those like round vault doors that like rolls out of the way.
That would be cool. It's not perfect. You can put it on the
pedestal of pain.
Thank you. I don't know why I can't remember.
Because you want to say Stairway to Violence because it's the Hellscape version of the Stairway to Violence. Also because you've been a part of creating over like 1,000 pieces at this point, all with individual names.
Dude, it's the worst. But you can. It's not a perfect fit, but it fits pretty well on top of it. So it's neat. And then of course what we did do is a nice perfect fit.
Flip it upside down and put it on a regular floor. Huh? Did I miss the context for it? Been using Dwarven Forge in my Fallout minis game. Someday I'll get into an RPG version. Fallout would be interesting. You could definitely use Wildlands. God, like the black rot tree in particular would work really well in Fallout as like a scatter piece. Let's see.
Why are you?
Everything all right?
No.
What happened?
Oh, this is why we got a shut. This sort of fits. The Hellscape piece. It's an overly tight fit to get the soul cage and circle in here, and I don't like it. It's not. It's supposed to.
I guess it's a good thing we messed around with it tonight. It's like just barely off.
Yeah, but just like it's like a millimeter or something somewhere is kicking out. Because
it's a really cool
great
effect, though.
Pains to make it fit. This vexes me, Chris.
I'm sorry.
I
didn't mean
highly
to.
vexed. Wildlands. Where's the?
Well, I want to show a cool
Well,
effect.
I think. Well, the good news is we can. That's why we have these test shots. Yeah. So the original. This is you get to see part of the process, right? So we have this is it worked. This I mean, what we're supposed to do when we get the things, we're supposed to test all this stuff. So this works fantastic in the original.
Do you think it's the shrinkage or
something? Shrinkage is one of the banes of our production.
if I had a nickel?
Huh.
Is that because
Where's
it's not
this
final
guy?
product? Yeah, so I mean that's the thing, right? The whole point of test shots
Yeah, it
is
definitely shrunk.
we get it
Weird.
back here so that we can look at it and make sure that it's doing everything it's supposed to do. So here, it looks like we might need to ask them, oh, since you got the prototype right there, do you have front bridge
Yes,
capability on
this
this?
is no. There's no front bridge here, but I got to look at the foam.
Okay, so they aren't missing that part.
Well, I
Or at
don't
least
know.
not off of the prototype.
Yeah. So the other interesting thing was this circle fit in the what's shrinkage.
Everybody's shouting shrinkage and he was in the
Yeah.
pool and all that.
This
I feel like it's like the third time that Seinfeld joke's been made.
every time we talk about shrinkage.
Yeah.
Yeah, for this the summoning circle from Cameras Deep fit in the original and does not fit in here. Like we can get the soul cage in, like soul cage fit
Expected a
with
dozen more.
ease, and now it's like
Yeah, shrinkage is a pretty common thing here.
it's a problem.
It's
Well,
part of just working with the
All
material.
right, so this is a really good. This is like a glad we caught this.
yeah.
Or we
Thank
approve
God
this
for the
thing.
show, I guess, huh?
See our top-notch QC. We don't miss a thing.
Top notch QC.
That is-
Let's see.
How did that
Well,
even happen?
I don't know, but hey, at least it's flagged. It's like I said, it's like a millimeter at most, yeah.
Yeah, but that's
But the millimeter breaks it. That's the
well,
whole
it's a
point of this. is
millimeter
we
in
gotta-
like a $10,000 steel mold.
Yeah. Well,
We gotta. We'll get there. We got this little guy. Let me see.
oh yeah, the ballista.
It's a harpoon gun.
Also that.
It's a ballista for ants. See.
Yeah, for the ballista for killing the blood ants.
Yeah. Blood ballistas for the blood ant god. There. Look at that little guy. Sits nice on the front of the boat. Can never have enough weapons to weaponize your whatevers. You weaponize your whatevers, as it were. All right, we've got. I think that's everything unpainted.
Could I see that next to a mini, please?
Yes.
Can you have your bard manning the
Yes.
harpoons?
I've manned many a harpoon.
Seems about appropriately sized. I wish we had the barge. Nate's school for dwarves who can't read good.
Boom, boom, boom.
Let's see.
Man, dwarf school has got to be rough.
I realize we missed. Finley says, I
It's-
realized we missed a variation of the harpoon gun with a string leading the harpoon into a giant croc that was then pulling the barge along.
Yeah, thanks. Speaking of, his Topulus
Oh.
is here. You better buckle up. So this is the PU Master. So this is a polyurethane casting.
Also, yes, it smells really
it's-
bad.
Yeah, it's not Dwarvenite, but this was they were showing us fit. So we have, and it's also we've gone from being able to see everything, unable to see everything because they're black, now to unable to see everything because it's bright white, or
Butterboat.
ivory. So the it doesn't have any of the pull accessory holes. It doesn't have the LED, whatever, but it fits. This is the important thing: is it fits together. Yay! And it's
Does
got
it
its-
fit with the?
It's got a secret smuggler's
Nice.
compartment.
Vanilla barge.
It does look like vanilla. I don't know if this will fit. I think this is the expanded. Is this the expanded master? I don't know. We have to see it
Right,
against
since it's not dwarvenite, it doesn't have. the
Yeah, it has to
shrinkage.
then shrink back down. So it'll fit.
How many
I mean, we
minis
could
can
try.
fit in it?
Ooh, a lot. So you could depends on how
wow.
friendly they are, right?
So that's,
you
that's
could,
at least so that's at least 5
you could fit
long.
you could fit 2 minis back here, no problem. You could conceptually fit 2 minis down here. You could fit 2 minis up here. Then you could easily fit 4 minis down here. And then if there's like an intrepid, like cider or whatever, the land ho guy could go up front. Or if there's no gator.
So the answer is yes, it can fit your whole party.
Yeah, you could definitely fit six minis in there, no problem. And when you'll be able to put your harpoon gun on there when we have the pole accessory holes and stuff. You can weaponize the sides, so you can have 2 gunners and someone steering, and I don't know what everybody else does, but yeah. I mean, I guess you could put 1, 2, 3. You could have 4. You could theoretically have 6 gunners. We have 6 pole accessory holes, so you could have 6 people manning harpoon guns, 1 person manning the tiller. Although I don't know how you would fit all 3 of them on the. Is it called a poop deck if it's just a little tiny boat? What's the raised area in the back called on a little boat, on a barge? Anybody?
Nothing I'm willing to say on stream.
Okay. Good. So, well, whatever that is. Is
this the Caverns Deep one? No, this is the Wildlands barge.
This is the Wildlands barge.
The Caverns Deep one is like
smaller
than this.
This is the decorated one.
Aft castle. Quarter deck. Yeah, no, this is the.
The aft castle is a cool name.
Yeah.
Oh man, where are the boats? I can't.
They're not in Caverns Deep. Oh, they might be. They might be with the mini stuff, right? Or are they in specialty?
I don't know. There is a logic, and it keeps eluding me. When we moved the archives around again, I got disoriented.
Danger must be growing, and we should know it's like a slowing.
Where are the?
Hey, Skeletor, how you doing?
Skeletor for Prez is here?
Yeah.
Hey, Matt.
I like that he's shouting from the other room. He still shouts like I need to hear him.
My kingdom for a boat. Where are the boats?
So, how's everybody doing today? I really need to just at this point make a scene that's just my face, so I can go to this. Prefix means the highest deck on a ship. So
I should never have cleaned up.
There's one piece of purchase that is painted. It's called the Spelljammer. Man, where are the boats? One of us, one of us. Can you order a Dwarven Forge boat by itself? This was its own pack, yeah. The boat from Caverns Deep is in its own pack, I believe, and this one will also be sold by itself. They're significant enough. They're significant enough packs that we can sell them as themselves.
Well, I can't find the docks either. I feel like the docks and the boats should be together.
What do you? Should I also? I can't leave. Well, I could. Bing. We ask where the boats are every stream.
I think did Topulus figure out where we are and come in and raid our?
He has no interest in boats at this point. He's all about the ships. You think he cares about a four-person boat?
Got it.
Yeah. All I had to do was walk away for 3 seconds, and he finds it.
All right.
So when the modular Dwarven Forge Butterboat meets up with the modular Dwarven Forge Beans Galleon, will there be a crane attachment to lift it?
Yes.
If we ever do a ship, it'd be so cool if there was a way to attach like the Caverns Deep boat to the side as like a lifeboat situation.
Just drop it down. All right. So this is the original Caverns Deep rowboat. This is the new swamp barge, bayou barge. What's it called? Bayou barge.
Bayou barge is the name, yeah.
So then, I think it was originally a battle barge, but we had battle boards. It seemed like having battle boards and battle barges all in the same place seemed like just not. So let's see if it fits with the. Yes. Oh, so it's not the PU. All right. So the idea is that these are interchangeable, so you can mix and match your boat flavors.
How long can you make the boat?
Well, I only have these pieces right here, but yeah.
It's a long boat.
Yeah, you could make a pretty long boat. It'll get pretty ridiculous pretty quickly. There's also like, you can do neat things like put,
It's working.
Just the bay.
We did it on stream. That's cute.
Yeah. Or
The chat's losing it. Our Viking longboat has arrived. Ooh, we should make a longboat.
this is a long boat. Oh, you mean like a long boat?
Like a Viking longboat.
Yeah.
Also, man, I really wish we had masts.
What was the thing we could? Well, we have a hole for a mast. We just haven't
Yeah.
gotten there yet.
We just need to actually make the mast to put in there. I think we need a bigger boat. So yeah, it took some time to get here, but look at it, it's working.
You could do.
Yeah.
You could do this. This is a wacky one. You could put the. You could have that as the front, and then that's like the.
It actually kind of looks like the back of it. Yeah, look at that.
You know, or you can put. You can make the weird square coracle or something. I don't know what this is, but.
That is shaped like a retro spaceship, honestly.
Just the garbage barge. Just flying.
Speedboat.
No.
You guys should make a Willy Wonka boat.
Ooh. Is it raining? Is it?
Opinions are like mast holes.
Yeah.
You're saying I need 3 of each boat now. Well, Orion Noir.
You can mix and
If you
match.
did.
In a great. Yeah. So it should be pretty fun once people get all these in hand. It'll be an adventure.
Well, there are some people who have
Not
so
a cool
many
adventure.
of the Caverns Deep boats that we've already seen people make very long boats just with the Caverns Deep pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Will the paint match on both boats? I think the wood is going to be the same.
The wood will be the same. There's like some scum and stuff some scum and villainy on the other side of here that's not on the old boat, and we've got some detailing like basilisk skin and whatnot. But yeah, the wood will match.
Yeah. Like they were made to have different vibes to them. Like the bayou barge is supposed to look like it's been through like swamp, dirty water. Like
It's been through a lot.
Yeah.
It's seen some battles.
yeah, but you could probably put the middle pieces of the
You'll be able to put the whole
Yeah.
thing together. You can mix and match.
yeah. I hate it when I step in villainy. Says Chuck.
Yeah, there's gonna be some neat boats you can make.
Yeah.
All right, we got that was for Topulus.
The important thing is you'll have the option.
Yes.
And now that we have the footprint working between 2 boats, hopefully if there are more in the future, it won't be as difficult to get them to work together. Hopefully. In theory.
Yeah. Although the question is, like, at this point, do we do another boat of this size if we're doing boats, or do we go to something different? Because there's already 6 pieces of this scale.
The question is if there's something aesthetic or something architecturally that can still be added to it that's significant, I think.
Yeah, like, I don't know what new ground we can do on this size boat. We might just have to go full modular ships.
Nah, that's crazy.
Okay.
It's not possible.
Yeah, you're right. Let's just give up. All right, so now we've got a few painted.
Underdark paint scheme edition. Yeah, we're gonna do the Bayou barge in Underdark. Why not?
That would be awesome.
Everything in Underdark, honestly.
Dude, Underdoom to rule them all.
Underdark volcano.
We've got so we got some painted Wyver stone, the drift stones. Look at all that.
Nice. I love the variation. I love like the light blue tones that you're getting.
Well, it's all that refraction,
Yeah.
iridescent interference. Yeah, should be pretty cool. Drift stones.
Underdark drift stones. Well, I mean, the initial drift stones were Underdoom.
Yep.
These look really cool. What is the paint on these?
It's a
The rock is-
iridescent. It's
yeah.
what are interference? I think it was interference.
Is it the
Blue?
interference blue over?
Over black.
Yeah. We'll get the specific paint soon. But then the rocks are just like your standard Aranthor. But
Standard issue Aranthor rock.
yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna make for some really neat builds, and people are gonna do some cool paint jobs, like alternate. Like there'll be some really neat. Can't wait.
I
to see
did
what
get a
people do.
lot of these unpainted. I got a lot of ruins unpainted too because I want to do like some sandstone ruins.
That's ambitious of you.
Honestly, I feel like painting the ruins in a sandstone style is going to be easier. There's less color variation than in the
Let's hear what future you has to say to past you when you dive into that.
I painted Hellscape. Everything else is gonna be fine.
Yeah, that's true. I'll give you that.
Like, do some of them have LEDs in them? No, the Wyverstone doesn't have LEDs.
No, it's opaque. Well, the planar pylon does, which is a Wyverstone pylon.
Yeah. We don't have that, do we? We had the
I
unpainted
don't have a painted one.
test
We have
shot.
the unpainted one. There's this,
Yeah,
like, little
which it doesn't quite sell the
popsicle.
effect unless it's painted. Has some good sandstone paint recipes that Andrew Keller's tried on Dwarven Forge pieces to good effect. There was somebody we sent a prototype to. Was it Method Man?
Danny.
It was Danny.
Danny Paints or whatever.
Yeah.
Danny's Crafty.
Yeah, he did sandstone ruins with one of the prototypes, and it looked phenomenal.
This is the Stefano stair. Painted up all rocky. So these are paint samples straight from the factory. This is, they give us a sample before they do all of them, and we say yay or nay. And this is a yay.
Looks
Yay.
so far, all the like bread and butter paint has looked really good.
You can fit a guy in there. A guy in there.
People are asking if we have the hole plugs.
No, we. Have you ever met Dwarven Forge? We things take we redesigned them. We made a metal mold, cast them, and then I redesigned them.
We made the mold and then we changed it.
Yeah, it wasn't right. It was like
Okay.
So the new ones are coming soon. All 60,000 of them.
Don't those stairs have a hidden spider or lizard? It might be the other stairs. Do
No,
these
I think
stairs
the other
have-
ones. This one doesn't have any thoughtful touches. I won't believe. That's what we call the hidden
I
things,
know, but it-
Chris.
Out of context, that does not sound kind. Can the stairs fit on top of each other? Yes, they were made for
Yes.
that. They're made so that if you stack them, they kind of do a switch back and forth. So theoretically, you can go as tall as you want
You
with
can go
them.
infinite.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, no critters on here. We got. You know, we don't have the.
I'm curious. When doing painted models, is it all by hand or are they initially airbrushed and then touched up? It's all by hand. I believe.
Hand.
Yeah.
Go sneeze.
Oh,
Jeez.
you warned me. I
I
should have
did
muted
warn
your
you.
mic before.
It's on you.
Yeah. It's entirely on me.
It's on my shirt now. No.
Exactly. How many of these stair sets should be ordered to recreate minus Morgul?
Oof. 20
Minus Morgul, not
minus.
minus.
I'm more of a plus Morgul.
Can I get a little bit less Morgul, please?
Well, there's minus green and plus green in for gels.
Infinite stairs like in Planescape. Is that a clue?
Uh-oh, Planescape confirmed. So this guy, which I wish we had the insert, what is it?
We don't have the insert yet.
Step, crag, step.
Apparently, when you sneezed, it scared Crystal's cat, and he like jumped a foot in the air.
Oh,
Her cat's named Kaiju, which is also a very good cat name.
it's the best cat name ever.
People are demanding to see the 1x3s. Do we have the 1x3s?
No, they can keep demanding though.
Unbelievable.
I
I
think
don't
we
believe the
already
1x3
showed them, didn't we?
exists, if I'm being real.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the 1x3 is our most hotly debated item. We'll be okay.
Jeffrey
Oh,
says he
okay.
studied every aspect of Wildlands for months and had no idea those pieces work together like that.
Which ones? What was it?
I think slotting the hidey hole into the...
The hidey hole and the.
Also, you want to
cut
speak
out.
about something else that works better in Dwarvenite than it does a prototype?
Who is this?
Yeah, just like the fits between...
The dangly rope spur.
Well, the cutout escarpment and the stuff that slots into
Oh
it.
yeah.
All those like little fits are just so much
Factory
easier in
finish.
Dwarvenite.
Yeah. So this is the little it's the rope spur plug that you can. plug
Hey,
in.
first time chat from Lulu. Says, so this is my first Dwarven Forge Kickstarter, and I felt like I spent too much, but I think I didn't spend nearly enough. These pieces look great.
Well, that's also you'll forget when it shows up, you'll forget what you ordered. Sort of like I'm really excited for my Bones 5 to ship whatever soonish
Question,
and see what the heck I got.
Did you get
I
their
don't know.
boat?
Yes, I did
You
get
did?
the boat. Yeah.
Cool, so we're going to have one in the office. Because I didn't get one, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, we should really have one in the office.
Wait,
if you got
did
one?
you just, are you a pirate? Did you just commandeer my boat for the office?
Well, here's the thing. I've already, I'm donating 2 boats from Blood and Plunder, first off. So if anything, Well, I guess.
So you're a pirate, is what you're saying. You're
Are-
building a fleet.
Are you implying that you have? Are you saying you have room in your New York house to
No, but
have a boat?
until Tiamat shows up. Yeah.
All right. I'm just gonna mount the ship on my car. Like what?
I go on.
On the hood of my car.
Yeah, I'll bring the boat in.
I thought we were talking about sci-fi today.
Yeah,
That is
we're
fair.
getting there. We're getting
How close
there.
are we?
I don't know what
Oh,
time.
we really got one big thing to show still.
Wait, is it only 8:25?
Yeah, we had a.
Oh yeah.
Lot
We're
of-
something different.
we
Well,
haven't
we
done
haven't
the
done the
giveaway
giveaway.
Yeah, we should
Are
go
they,
fast.
More paymasters. Roots.
Yeah.
Projecting roots. Look at this tree. Look at that detail. Great.
Which one did you?
Love it. Yeah, we just had this guy unpainted. Now you see him painted. Hey,
we
look
got
at
to
that.
try to go fast.
Boom.
Y'all better do sci-fi next week too. We might. Maybe we just push.
Maybe.
No, I don't want to not do sci-fi today.
Look at that. You can stick the branch out of your hidey hole. Look at that.
Nice.
It's just a perfect. Oh, you know what's cool
It's a
too?
good
Wait,
little piece.
they do the. I think if we do, is that the side? Woo! It's better the other way.
Oh, we put a mini on it.
Maybe it was the other way. When I was doing the other. Yeah, you can like when you fall off and you catch the thing, like help me down here. You can, or I guess you could also hang them off it too, but that's not as fun as like. All right. We got. What else we got? Oh boy, we got big ones. We're never gonna get sci-fi. Wait, we got it. No, because
AK Yeti says, "I've been harassing for sci-fi since your very first ever stream. These are exciting times for me." I'm like, yeah, I remember. Sci-fi's been.
we're in a lot of trouble here, Chris. Okay, well.
We got to do sci-fi today. We got to at
least start.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe it becomes a multi-step thing.
It might
but
be.
We at least have to start today.
Yes. Start the. Did we show the painted?
No, we haven't shown the
rod?
black rot, and it looks so good. Look at that. So yeah, Orion Noir. Imagine this in your Fallout game. Look at that. Ah. Man, they got it so good. Like the.
Gross. Yeah, I'm excited to have a horde of these trees. It's funny it's called black rot, but the inside is red. But what can you do? I named it before we painted it. My favorite tree of the batch, the quildren.
Yeah, we got both of like the big ticket trees, huh?
Yeah. Look at this.
It's gorgeous.
That twisty.
I feel like the Quildren and the Black Rot are like the set piece trees. Like Quildren for the Feywild, Black Rot for the Shadowfell.
Yeah. That was literally the driver, right?
Yeah.
That helix. Also the hardest name to spell.
Yeah, Grey Raven, this is all factory paint. Everything we're looking at has come from the factory.
Yeah, these are all paint samples.
Yeah, and it looks
They
like
did a great job.
they nailed this too. I was curious how this one was going to come out, but both the Black Rot and the Quildren, like, it seems like they nailed it.
Does anybody remember how to spell quildren?
I'll keep an eye on chat. Make that the giveaway word.
It's yes. Oh, it's absolutely the giveaway word. It's like a hybrid of two Welsh words.
Yeah.
That was a.
Because Levi is.
Okay.
He's like a valedictorian or something. He's got like knowledge and.
This is the
Reality Rupture.
Reality Rupture.
Don't worry, I got your back.
Yeah, thank you.
It's gonna be a cool little piece to drop on things.
Yeah.
It's an easy. It's almost like a. It's almost like a spell effect marker or something you can drop on something. Woo!
We got ourselves a whole knoll. That.
You gotta pay the whole knoll.
Get 3 pole accessory holes in the whole knoll. So
Yes.
you can put pull the pole hole knoll. Oh, we put here. You pull. Right.
So people know Quildren. Oh, I haven't started that. Should I just start
Yes.
giveaway?
Yes.
collection
Giveaway.
for Quildren now.
Quildren.
Okay. The way that DW Chancellor and Jin Watson and Steph the Shopper have been typing Quildren in there is the correct spelling. It's CWYLDREN.
Quildren.
It is now actually going. So if you typed it before I just said that, now the giveaway is actually going. So if you type Quildren in chat, you'll be entered. This is an international giveaway. You can win it no matter where you are. It's going to be a $50 gift card. If you are in the States, we could also ship you a basic Caverns core instead if you'd rather do that. But if you're outside of the States, we can only do the gift card. So yeah, go ahead and type that in,
Also,
and we'll look at it.
Just the best worst word to use
Quildren.
ever.
Everybody's
for a
got it. I
giveaway.
think they're all
I
just
love it.
copy pasting it at this point.
Smart.
Yeah.
Oh, let's put the
Did you
fog.
put the whole null over the pedestal of pain?
Yeah, I was just trying to see if I could get any of that light to come through, but nope.
Well, we got the little tea light.
So
But we had it.
the whole null. So we're fixing, first of all, the bottom of this. There's kind of a lip here embedded, which creates, you can kind of see that, you see that perimeter around it? It's irksome. It was vexing. So we filled that in. It's going to be flat, so there'll be a revised version. It's going to be flat. It doesn't have the writing, so we don't ruin the beautiful refraction on this thing. It's going to be nice. So this is removable. So you can use this. It looks so cool when you put a castle tower or a city house under there. It's like, poof. But even cooler, I don't know if you've seen inside. So it's got, this is an indent for the light puck, and this is for the fogger. So you can...
McGreg says if he wins the giveaway, it's in honor of 6. I mean, he's going to keep the gift card, but he will dedicate
He
it to
will
him.
dedicate his winning to 6. So this basically perfectly covers.
Oh, 6 just got here and entered in time.
Did he really? Good luck, 6. This could be the one. Although I'm telling you, if you don't win, and we get to if you don't win anything before our 2-year anniversary, we're going to do a special giveaway for 6.
He's entering from dinner. He's saying, "Don't tell his family."
How do you even? I don't know.
How would we tell him?
No, how do you do that?
I was going to say we technically have his contact information from store purchases.
So, so the whole null perfectly masks the fogger. You can pop that in there,
Nice.
and then use it to pop something like your Oblivion Nexus on. Come forth, interval mode. That's really exciting.
Susalem says, "My in-laws are visiting, and I'm hiding in a dark corner trying to spell Quildren."
Well, they might have to learn to love you as you are. Just openly spell Quildren in front of them and see what happens.
Can you believe he collects miniature terrain?
I heard he.
Unbelievable.
His whole basement's full of it. I don't know what to say for this thing. We got pole accessory holes here too. I mean, paired
it's a
peg
very
holes.
fully featured piece.
It is. It's gonna be awesome.
What else do we have?
All right, we get 2 more. We are
two big things.
all right, and then we have to do our fan.
The fan build is.
Let's do the fan build and the giveaway, and we'll do these last 2 pieces, and then talk about sci-fi for 2 minutes and call it a show.
Okay. All right. This one is a honker. You remember the
honker?
He's a honker.
Okay.
You
I didn't look at this. Okay, yeah.
You remember the cathedral build from a while ago that was like
I do.
3-dimensional?
Absolutely epic.
This is also from Forge 2020. The person that did the cathedral build. As you can see, it's hang on a second. Let me.
Ooh, it's a cavern. Love this elevation.
Yeah.
Oh, crystals. Wow.
Yeah.
You've got resin.
Yeah, so this is a massive. This is like a 3-layered.
That's outrageous.
And so he also did some walkthrough pictures showing with like lighting and fog effects. This is just with the fog, and now he started lighting it. So this is the top layer. This is the forest with a creek running through it.
All right, I gotta set aside some time to do some builds. This is the.
And then this is the forest as well. And then pretty soon we're gonna move into the second layer.
Quildren.
The keyword is Quildren, DMN. CWYLDREN. And so there's a rift in the middle of it, and there's Underdune tiles in there, and so that was like showing some of the lighting there. This is the second layer. This is the caverns underneath the forest. With some fog going through it.
It's full witchcraft.
If you wanted to say anything to Forge 2020 and share your appreciation,
what is this?
This is the caverns, and there's more Lake River running.
Yeah. This is an illusion.
This build is on
I'm making my save. I disbelieve.
This build is on the Dwarven Forge forums if you wanted to go find it.
Wow.
In the cool photos of DF builds in all caps section. And so yeah, so there's a bunch of crystals in the caverns and tried different lighting with it. So just a bunch of different colors with the crystal caverns. I'm guessing that one's your favorite.
It's perfect.
Yeah. And so this is the build from the. They did some cross sections of the build.
Wow.
So they used a bunch of foam blocks that they got from Anime Sensei, that he shipped over, and so use those. That's the cross sections of
That's just
of the
brilliant.
build.
That's outrageous.
It's massive. And yeah,
Genius.
it's very, very good. The floor's upside down on the terrain trays, and the ceiling is just too good.
Ceiling.
And that's the top. So imagine coming in and this is all you see initially is just the top, like just this forest. The waterfalls running down.
Well, has caverns. It has the original caverns resin.
And you see the Underdark in the roof
lake
there.
tiles in there. Like, it doesn't even make sense. This is full on witchcraft.
Juder Dark Art is shouting, "When do we get more crystal caverns?"
You know, not soon, but
It's in development.
we were
Yeah.
we're looking at doing a core, like a core, something we can restock.
Yeah. Now that
Those crystal caverns are amazing. I need more.
it is. It's one of the things we're looking at. Like now that we've got like a lot of the, like the must-have like basic biomes covered with core sets. Now we're moving into some of the more specialty stuff like crystal caverns.
Burrows.
Yeah. So yeah, that was that build.
What did you call it? A bonko?
It's a honker.
A honker.
It's a honker.
It's also a bonko. Let's be honest.
It's a bonko.
It's a bonko if I've ever seen one.
Real
Chris.
bonko builds over here.
It's a wow. It's a,
Some of the
it's
KS2 caverns water.
Wow.
All that.
That is just inspiring.
All right. So let's
give away something.
Let's do that giveaway.
What are we giving away, Chris? $50 gift card.
102 people entered the giveaway.
Woo!
All right. Let's
And they all spelled Quildren right.
They also 102 people spelled Quildren correctly.
Let
I'm
me
going
ask
to tell Eli he's educated quite a few people. Over 100 people he's taught a little bit of Welsh.
Yeah, but it's like
It's Welsh he made up, but it's a little bit of Welsh.
it's like saying, you
All right.
like today I learned how to say Durgar, and that means it's just a made up like we're.
All right.
It's like teaching someone Spelljammer in Italian. They do not they actually-
103 people have entered. Somebody else entered while we were in that. So we're rolling it now, and it's Juder Darkguard. Hey, save this gift card at I don't know 8 months, whatever the Juder Darkguard is the one who was asking about Crystal Caverns.
Oh yes, save it for your crystal. No, spend it now. Just to be honest.
Spend it now. Crystal Caverns. It's gonna take a
It's
while.
gonna be a while.
Because it's got to happen after.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while.
Yeah, but we're working on it.
We got to bring them back because they're amazing.
Yes.
Congratulations.
All right.
So this is a swamp piece.
So
We're
this
back
is
to the.
Yes.
This is the end, the medium end cap. I think it's the medium. We have the small. Wait, is this the small? No, this is the medium. Or is this the large? I don't know. We had 3 of them. We killed one of them. We made 2.
Just call it.
It's
venti.
one of them.
Just call it venti, and like everybody will try to figure out what that means.
Did we end up making 2 of them?
The swamp banks.
No, we do. The smaller one has the end caps. The small one has the, because I wanted to make islands easily. The small one has the stump.
Good night,
This one
Craig.
doesn't.
Thanks for
We
coming.
didn't have the large one. Woo!
All right,
All right,
let's
now
move it. Yeah, we saw
whoever
that.
just left is gonna be really bummed.
All right.
Because now we're bringing out the big guns.
Oh yeah, Craig. If you want to hold on just a little bit, it's a few minutes.
All right. First of all, we have paint symbol on this guy. Boom. Where is he going?
He's
There he
here.
goes. Titans tooth.
He's finally here.
It's a big piece of it's big.
Look at
It's
that.
where's that? I can't even find a mini. It's so big. In fact, where is a mini? Wait a second. There's foul play afoot, Chris.
And look at all those holes for putting bridges on.
There we go.
Lame, not a space rock.
Not a space rock. I can't even see the minis.
Sci-fi. So anyway, here's a swamp bank.
That's a good
It's a swamp
encapsulation of
planet.
this show. So this guy's got a. You can attach your bridges. If we have a bridge, your Jeff Bridges. You get, yeah.
But yeah, look at how pretty it is. And then let's.
Well, we got one more thing to look at after this.
Yeah, we got one more thing.
And
And we gotta
then-
get to sci-fi, so we gotta.
I guess
We gotta
suspended
move.
outcry.
We gotta move a bit. The pieces all go on the way that they did on the others.
Look
Look at that.
Big,
Look at us.
It's a big boy.
Still on the fence. I'm gonna add Titan's Tooth and Web Store.
Yeah, we'll have a few left over.
I think.
But
it's
I don't
even-
know if we'll restock it. Like it'll be.
Even from it's gonna be a tough piece to restock.
Yeah. So buy them while they're hot or cold or whatever they are. Room temperature dwarf night.
Yeah.
God, It's a cool piece.
The little mushrooms.
Also
on the base.
fits on the. No, it fits in all sorts of places. Wait, where did the other? Where did the Hoosie go?
Juder, by the way, I sent you a private message on here. Just whenever you know whether you want the gift card or the basic Caverns core, let me know, and then just need the email address to contact you with.
Alright, in there.
Sent you a whisper.
In here. You know, I designed this. The whole null can accommodate the full Titan's tooth in a variety of configurations as well.
Yeah, it was a cool.
So, like you can make like just an absolutely massive area to do nonsense shenanigan platforms as we hear. All right.
Yeah.
Last.
Great. Okay. Last thing we're showing off, guys. Taking bets right now. What do you think it is? You're only gonna have like 15 seconds, so I'm not having him slow down. He's just clearing space. Guess what it is. See if anybody can guess what it is before it comes out in a couple seconds. Unicorn. Thank you, Merc. Swamp Banks from
How did
Jeffrey.
he know it was a unicorn?
Dragon from Kraid. All right, nobody got it. Painted dragon. A lot of dragon. Waterfall? Oh, not the waterfall. That'd be cool, though. Nettle Gorse.
The threshold of worlds.
Look at this.
Threshold.
The last resin piece.
Oh, 5. So it's 5 pieces. This is the factory casting and painting sample, so you can see the whole. It's they did a good job. I can't remember how. There's a whole like I gotta figure.
There's a specific configuration.
There's a couple ways
that's
that
meant
this.
for, yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to fit. There's like. You're supposed to be able to do something like this, where it makes like the gateway. Is this?
The thing, these go together in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Some sort of thing, so you can like pass through the worlds there. You can do. Obviously, you can do it this way. Like you can make a some sort of thing like that.
Put that tree next to another tree. Just drop the quildron in there.
The where's Quill? So this is like a big ancient quildron. Same colors, same general shape, the twisty thing, but then half of it's dead. This half is dead. This half is alive. It's pretty neat. And there's a whole huge variety of plant life on the life side, and it's like we're stepping there. Right, so it's just all sorts of living things, tons of plants and flowers and little spots of color. There's purple, and there's pink, and there's yellow, little red berries, all the bits. Well, I don't remember what those crystals inside are. There's a thought to these beautiful reddish crystals on the inside of the roots. It's like, this black felt on the bottom. Ooh,
yeah, Eli had a lot of fun.
Eli went crazy on this. This is like channeling all his love of all things nature. So this has a black widow on the inside there, and there's some sort of deadly snake. There's a snake, and these plants are poisonous. I don't know what all the types are, and everything's a little more darker. The darker and more muted, and look at this. I don't know, purple bits on here. Thorny plants. I don't know. We'll have to have them do a walkthrough of what all the plants are on each side, because they're all specific, toxic, like nightshades and stuff on here. And then of course the skull. Where we go?
A little bit more, little down.
So there's the stones line up into a skull if you look at the way, but then like is that crazy, the illusion? Like it just disappears into nothingness.
It's wild how we figured that out, yeah. Like to see it in order to make it is something else.
Where'd it go? Here he is. Yeah, it's so fun when you like, yeah, screaming skull. Gotta love it.
You really made the resin modular this time around, which is cool.
Yeah, and then there's a freestanding ruined bit that goes with it. Is that an old monument or maybe a marker, right? Like if the Eladrin knew that this was a gateway, so they they left a little marker that says whatever, go thrice widdershins around, and it'll the full moon and the gateway will open. And you can go back to our homeland, or whatever it says. Yeah, see, there's writing on it.
Nice.
Yeah. You should ask Eli what that says, too.
Is it in Welsh?
No, it's in some made-up Eli rune. Like, of course.
Like, did he have something in mind when he
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He always has something in mind. And then it's got the ancient druid statue. She was like guarding it or something. I don't know. Maybe she was a giant and she got petrified. Not sure, but she's seen some. She's weathered. She's seen some time on the elements. And then this thing, which you're just gonna use all the time, it's translucent. Right?
It's just
So
a
you
cool
get
piece to drop on the table.
Yeah. Well, I'm a sucker for spell effecty stuff that I can put, in a area and make it cool, or put it behind, backlight it and put it in a thing and make it a thing, and it's like you can see.
Well, and like opening a
Yeah.
gate is also like just such a way
Yes.
to raise the stakes in a
Yes.
boss fight. It's like a portal opens and either
Yes.
something's going to come out of it or they're trying to get into it.
Yes. Or they're trying to launch a weapon in there, or they're,
Does that piece fit in
they're
the
hurting a
Hellgate?
Tarrasque.
I think
in
it's
there. Does it
it's
fit
larger
where?
than the Hellgate gyre, right?
Yeah, it's taller.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't played with it at length.
We'll need
Mostly
to do
because we only
some-
had one in existence.
We'll need to do some tests, but we also need to
Yeah.
hurry, so we can't go.
There's
all
a
in.
whole.
Maybe we'll play with it over the next week, and if there's something particularly cool,
Once they do a build, there's the fact there's like you put it together and there's a hole. You can't even see it. There's a hole through the center, so you can. It's like you could put a light in there, or you can even put like
you
a
want to drop
fog.
the tea light in there?
Yeah, where did the tea light go? Oh, here.
To your right, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of. This thing is. Both these resin pieces, the Moonlit Arch that Michelle did, and Threshold of the Worlds that Eli did here, are I think.
Okay, we are back.
We're back. Well, that's everything you need to know about sci-fi.
Yeah, that's everything.
Yeah.
We covered everything. For real though, let's.
All right, let's look at the sci-fi.
Awesome.
So, little backstory. Do I have anything breakable here? Let's see. It's a nice thing about Dwarven Knights. I could just like shove a table full of stuff off. Oh, that's resin. Didn't do it. Don't tell Tyler. All right, so in the last 10 minutes of Wildlands, we started making some promises. One of these, should we break $4 million? And we did. Yay. And I think this is going to be the new tradition. The 15 minutes.
We promise a set every time.
No, we just do some. We just start promising some crazy stuff at the very end. If we can hit what seems like a insurmountable goal, and we go for it. And if we do, then we have to do some things. So anyway, we promised we would do a sci-fi set, and on its face, it didn't seem like that hard a promise. But as we started digging into it, we realized there was a lot to it because
we want to do it right.
Well, we love sci-fi, right? We love fantasy. We love all the things we do across the boards. But like, we want to do sci-fi right? We don't want to just sort of just half-ass a set and just throw something out to do a set and whatever. We want really to be dipping a toe into water in something bigger, and like whatever we make works well with the it's the recon mission, right? It's the away team that lands, checks out the planet, and then we send in the full armada, right? So it's the probe droid needs to go out there. So we want to make sure that whatever we do in the sci-fi set is going to work with whatever else we're doing as a bigger sci-fi offering, because it's so exciting. Like, Chris, have we talked about how exciting it is?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like
there's like so many
everybody-
possibilities. Like,
everybody in the office for a very long time has been saying that we want to do sci-fi, and
Yeah.
so just having the validation of like,
yeah.
it's just, it always gets pushed back because it's like, well, our audience wants fantasy.
Although with these conventions, people come up like, "Hey, you have any
Yeah.
sci-fi stuff?" No.
Yeah, so just getting it so that we actually like just are getting to at least like, since we have to make it, now we get to make it.
So we sat down and started to talk about it and realized we had a lot of questions. Like, so first questions are like, "Hey, what games are we making this for?" And that, of course, then that leads to what's the aesthetic, and is it scatter? Are we doing interiors? Are we doing exteriors? Are we in space? Are we on land? Are we, do we need squares? Do we need hexes? Do we need 1 inch? Do we need whatever? And, there's a lot of questions. So we sent out a survey. We sent out a survey to you guys, and we had, I don't know, what do we have? 1,000, 2,000 people answered it or something.
We had 2,422.
2,400 people answered this.
Yeah.
Thank you for your feedback. This is like literally, we look at these things, like we send the surveys out, we actually pour through these results and use them to shape what we're doing. Like it's really instrumental to get this feedback. Because, and one of the reasons we do these is during our campaigns and between campaigns, there's a lot of chatter, on the forums, on the comments, whatever, but it tends to be a relatively small number of people, right? It's 200 people or 300 people. It's not 3,000 people. So often, what the people are, the loud people are talking about is not necessarily what the broader audience wants. Or the people, the people that have opinions maybe just don't want to, want to be quiet about it, or it's personal or whatever. So, or they're afraid to say the thing that's not popular or whatnot. So these anonymous surveys are really helpful because we get to people can actually. We hear from a wider swath of people and get a broader feedback. Because a lot of times the things that people are saying in the comments or whatever do not match their habits in the pledge manager. They're like, oh yeah, we're buying garderobes. You do a garderobe, nobody buys it. For instance. We're not making garderobes.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, did that happen with us? Because I
Everybody's
thought we just never made a garderobe.
We want unicorns.
You think nobody would buy a unicorn?
There's only one way to find out, Chris, to not make one. Because then we know that no one will buy them.
If nothing else sells, if we don't make a unicorn and nothing else sells, clearly we should have made a unicorn.
Yeah, facts.
That's what you're trying to say.
Yep. Spelljammer confirmed.
Yes.
So let's look at the survey, shall we?
Yeah. So the first question is simply, do you have any interest in sci-fi terrain from Dwarven Forge? 84% said yes.
Look at that.
16% said no. And at that point, it was a thing. It was a way to kind of filter it. Like, we want to hear more from the people who actually want the stuff.
Yeah, you get kicked out of the survey if you said no. We asked you like one more question, like, "What's your problem, dude?"
There were some people who were upset about that, and it's like, well, we want to please the people who are actually here for the stuff, right?
Well, if you're not interested in buying sci-fi, then why do we need your opinion about sci-fi?
Yeah,
why are you answering the survey? If you're interested in this, if you're going to answer the survey, it means you have some interest in sci-fi. So then you need to say yes. I don't know. Maybe it was
very peculiar.
Maybe it was poor survey design, but I don't know. It seemed like we should just filter out.
To me, it seems to make sense, right? Like it's.
I don't know. The logic was strong to me. I was like, well, if you're not interested in it, then thanks.
Yeah. Oh well. What's the main reason you're not interested in Dwarven Forge? Oh, this is for people who did say no.
If we did, so we could find out why they weren't interested.
Overwhelmingly, there was one answer, which was, I don't play any sci-fi games that require terrain. Fair. Which, fair enough.
Chris,
there's not that many.
I don't play any sci-fi games that require terrain right now.
That's fair.
In fact, I'm not playing any sci-fi games currently.
Secondary was no space or budget to add sci-fi terrain.
Yep.
Only 4 people already had enough sci-fi terrain. So that's not
Rabbit
a problem.
burner.
So the problem is not that the market's oversaturated.
Yeah, it's just they're not playing, or you're playing. Yeah.
And 7 said they buy their sci-fi terrain from another company. So, again, even out of the people, 11 out of 350 said it was because they were already getting sci-fi terrain from somewhere else, out of the people who weren't interested. So it doesn't seem like it's a oversaturation problem.
No, it's mostly this is not playing, they're playing something and using theater of the mind and having a great time. And,
Topulus is saying you should play Lancer. We're actually playing. We're putting together some Lancer sessions at the office. What's your preferred way to order a sci-fi set?
This was an interesting.
This is about a 3/4 split. About 75% said a pre-order with a modest discount and guaranteed availability and wait for fulfillment. 25% said buy from web store when product isn't stock.
Well, so what was exciting here is Jay has always been apprehensive about doing pre-orders. Primarily, there's 2 reasons. One, we don't have a great method for doing it. It's very manual. We have to do a lot of stuff. We can fix that. But the other one is sort of more philosophically, like he really feels responsible. Holding people's money really bothers him.
And that's
the idea, and that's one of the it's part of Kickstarter and it's what it is. But it just feels. It's just it feels like a heavy responsibility to take everybody's money and deliver the product a year later or whatever. It weighs on him, and it's just it feels like it's it's just a thing you really, I don't know. So he he feels like I don't know, he was always sort of afraid of pre-orders because it's more responsibility of asking people for their money and then shipping the stuff later and all that trust, and I don't know, it's heavy weight to it. But
Yeah.
this survey helped him turn around and go, so, I think maybe it's worth it because it seems like a lot of people are interested and they're willing to take that and whatever. So.
Well, especially, it's such a major part of this industry in particular, not just like making terrain, but like the tabletop like creation industry in particular, like down to like source books and stuff. Almost all of it's done through, unless you are Paizo or Wizards, you're basically doing everything through Kickstarters or some kind of pre-order system. I don't know. I think people feel more personally invested in their tabletop stuff than a lot of other products.
Honestly, it's the only way we can do. We're a boutique. Like, we're offering a boutique service. Like, these are small. Our orders are not small, right? We're not. It's not Reaper size orders where we're ordering 20,000 of a thing, right? We're ordering 300 of a set.
Yeah,
500 of a set for Legacy. So it's like, it's integral. We can actually, if we do pre-orders like this, it lets us actually, explore some stuff more safely, like, without having to, hope that we can sell 300 sets. We can actually pre-order, have people pre-order 350 sets and go, holy moly, now we can order 500, and it'd be great.
People are pointing out that Kickstarter isn't much different from a pre-order. And
no, it's just a pre-order.
So but for some reason, I think it's just because Kickstarter worked that he's like, okay, well, I guess we do this. But it still felt different than like.
Well, it's nerve-wracking.
Style.
He hates Kickstarter too. Like, it's not, it's the same thing where we're beholden to people. We made promises that we need to make good on, and it's really hard. People are kind of riding with you through the tough. Your shipping not working and the stuff like. We've been late the last few years, and it's all that stuff it's a responsibility. It feels just an extra thing. But
it is usually 9 times out of 10 when Jay has a problem with something, it's usually that he's worried we won't be able to deliver on something. Yeah.
Or we'll miss it, we'll be late, or we'll be whatever. Yeah. Like, we'll always deliver, but it's he doesn't want to let people down. Yeah. Is what it is. But the amazing thing about Kickstarter that's not baked into most pre-orders is the feedback, right? The feedback loop and all the notes that we get from people and how we can shape the thing to be better. But anyway, what's next?
What's your primary need or use for sci-fi terrain? There was an overwhelming answer here, and then a couple secondary answers that still got some say.
Dun, dun,
the
dun.
biggest one is RPGs, which is interesting. Second biggest was wargaming, and then skirmish battles was right behind that. Yep. It's interesting because most sci-fi stuff you would think would be wargaming, which could go one of two ways here.
Well,
our existing audience is an RPG audience.
You think of 40K.
Yeah.
Like, that's my first thing. When I think of sci-fi, I think of 40K.
And I think this is largely just because the audience that we currently have is more of an RPG audience than a wargaming audience. Which we kind of get two things from this.
Well, I'll tell you, the people that come to us at conventions asking for sci-fi terrain are all 40K people.
Yes. Yeah. It's interesting because it basically means that the sci-fi audience that we do have currently watching us enough to be involved in a survey like this, is primarily people who are playing RPGs, even though a majority of the market is wargaming or skirmish.
Well, because there isn't, if you're playing Starfinder,
there's not really anybody. There's like Dungeons and Lasers, and that's it. Is Dungeons and Lasers the only people really doing that?
I think WizKids is doing some minis, some Starfinder minis.
But terrain-wise, they're not doing any terrain yet, right?
No.
Starfinder, Shadowrun, yeah. So I'm curious. So I guess what that tells me from like a marketing standpoint is that.
What does it tell you, Chris?
What it tells me is that for the RPG stuff, we can rely more on kind of word of mouth helping with that. Whereas with wargaming, we need to go out and we need to get the wargaming people. If we're trying to hit people who are doing wargaming and skirmish with this, we need to do more legwork to actually reach them because they're not currently watching us.
Yeah. Well, and that was also the sort of revelation. So I was like, well, if we're going to do sci-fi terrain, it seems like it's got to be for 40K, right? Isn't that what everybody's using it for? But this survey was like, well, actually, there's a bunch of people, there's a couple thousand people that are interested in doing this for their sci-fi RPGs, right? They want to play Star Wars on it or Starfinder.
The other thing it tells me is that out of the Dwarven Forge audience, which is primarily fantasy RPGers, there's still a good amount of people who are watching us that use our stuff for fantasy that are also still playing sci-fi. Yeah. So it's not like we don't have that market, which is nice. So it's interesting. And then there's some people doing casual building, and then I don't know what other would be. Dioramas,
building with
maybe?
their kids.
Well, it's interesting because it says casual building / other and then other. So maybe we should have done it a bit differently. It doesn't really matter.
Well, it's a special other.
This one is super split. So in which games or activities would you use sci-fi terrain?
It's amazing.
You can pick up to 4. So here we've got... this is actually interesting. So Warhammer 40K.
Yeah.
The biggest one is the Star Wars RPG. That's edging out Starfinder. And then we've got a lot, like, in the 600 to 500. Warhammer, Starfinder, Shadowrun, Cyberpunk, and dioramas are
cool.
all kind of around the same. Playing with my kids is a little bit lower than that. Stargrave was actually the bottom, which I guess doesn't surprise me that much. Stargrave is the skirmish game.
Yeah.
And then other was actually the second largest, which tells us that like stuff like Space Hulk and all that other junk.
Traveler, Star Frontiers.
Yeah, Rifts,
like
whatever people are doing. Like, yeah, Cyberpunk, please. I'm actually surprised that we got that much of a Cyberpunk pull.
They're using it for Car Wars. I don't know.
Cyberpunk being larger than Starfinder. Star Wars being larger than Starfinder surprised me, actually.
Yeah.
I guess a lot of people are out there playing Star Wars.
I mean, turns out Star Wars is a popular franchise. Who knew?
I just thought they made Burger King watches.
I just thought I based my life about it.
Yeah.
didn't know it was popular. I was like, huh.
Yeah, forgot Necromunda. Yeah, Necromunda's also out there.
Oh, there's a ton. Like
I'm curious.
That's what the other was.
It's interesting to me actually, with how few people said they were using it for wargaming compared to RPGs. How high up Warhammer is on the list.
Yeah.
And I guess it's just because Warhammer is like that. Maybe it's people who like do a lot of RPGs and stuff, so that'd be their primary use. But they also still play 40K.
Because you could do multiple choices on this.
Yeah, you could pick up to 4.
Yeah.
So
maybe they also play 40K or whatever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
There's a 6 Cyberpunk D&D adaptation someone put together. Nice. Question 6. Is it important for our new sci-fi pieces to build seamlessly together with our existing fantasy sets?
Yeah, so this was a big question. We're like, are people going to want to mix and match? Turns out, yes.
Yeah. It's about 75% said they want to be able to mix and match.
Well, because we were, I would, like, one thought I was like, well, what if we go up to like 32 millimeter scale, right? Instead of 1-inch squares, it's 32 millimeter squares. So there's more room for bigger minis, everything like beefs up. Because minis are getting bigger, right? Everything's bigger. I was like, well, we could just like, it's a chance to just change the scale, change the whatever. Like, we could have more detail in there, makes room for more crazy LED things, whatever. I was like, that was one thought. Or I don't know, it just seemed like there were, or like any of the rules that apply to our existing terrain. I was like, well, we could throw all those rules out if we don't have to mix and match.
Yeah.
It turns out people want to mix and match, which
which
makes
then
sense.
becomes the debate of.
Well, it's like making Legos and then suddenly make them in a different scale. They don't fit. Yeah.
Which then kind of comes down to like, so if we want to make it match, what is it that we want to match our stuff with the most? Because making stuff to work with City Builder is way different than making stuff to work with Dungeons. So it's something to think about.
I think caverns. I think any of the generic wilderness, or not generic, but stuff that you can repurpose to be, like caverns you can use anywhere, right?
Yeah.
That could be a meteor, an asteroid. It could be whatever. It could be an alien planet.
It also depends on what we make. I feel like if we're making like ship interiors, what makes the most sense is to try to stick to dungeon style footprints, because you're more likely to mix the dungeon pieces, if anything, with like sci-fi walls and floors.
Do your expedition to the barrier peaks and find your spaceship.
Basically. Because with the caverns, if we're making spaceship interiors, it's more likely they would be separate areas. So maybe you'd have a transition piece. But
Well, but caverns and dungeons are the same footprint. But it doesn't mean that necessarily we have to make 2x2 tiles. Like there's ways to make stuff compatible without doing the same thing. Because I'm not sure. Like there's still things we can throw out that we don't necessarily have to do. That sci-fi, but I don't know. One of the things, like, this might be a thing that we sculpt all in 3D versus analog.
That'd be interesting.
Because, it's conducive to it because it's all high tech conceptually, right? So
it's more likely to be
a spaceship interior should be like flawlessly thing, whatever,
So you don't really want to have that like kind of like the human hand where like there's like it's not exactly 90 degrees
because
it's
it
like
shouldn't feel
off.
organic.
Yeah.
Right. It should feel
It should
like
feel
a thing.
artificial.
Unless it's like a an H.R. Giger style like biomechanical thing or whatever. Or something. But like if we're doing if we're doing sort of sleek futuristic things, it probably makes sense to do it in 3D.
Because then you can make sure that like all the angles are exact.
It's exactly precise. It's like computer precision.
That's curious.
Yeah. No, it's an interesting there's this is opening up a whole world of interesting places to explore.
Yeah.
So what's next? What else do people talk?
Please rank these sci-fi piece types in your order of preference. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 is least preferred, 5 is most preferred. So.
Basically, everybody wants everything. Okay.
Yeah. There was one standout. Modular interiors, space station corridors, moon-based command center. Everything else was pretty even. Planetary landscape, modular exteriors, scattered terrain, sci-fi accessories, freestanding decor, cargo pods, computer terminals.
Well, it seems like, to me, the takeaway on this is I don't think there's anybody making good, high-quality sci-fi interiors right now.
Like Games Workshop is doing exteriors. They're doing a lot of
lots of
exterior
cool
stuff.
scatter and stuff out there, but there's not a lot of, if you want to make, the cargo bay thing or the base, the space station or whatever. It seems like interiors are underserved. Dungeons and lasers.
Greg says, catching up from a call. So people want sci-fi terrain for RPGs, but mainly plan to use it for Warhammer and want it to work with dungeons?
Yes. This is also the problem with surveys is
humans are not 100% rational. So
the people will tell you things that don't all add up necessarily to a cohesive story. So
what you think you want isn't always necessarily what you'll actually end up wanting.
Yeah, or what makes the most sense to make, or doesn't. It's all. This is all just a bunch of data. What we do with it is going to be a whole other ballgame.
I think out of 2,500 people though, like you do get to see trends at least.
Yeah. For sure. No, this stuff's super useful, but sometimes you'll get stuff that's conflicting.
Yeah.
Or counterintuitive or whatever.
How often would you use Dwarven Forge sci-fi terrain to build the following? This is also extremely even. Looks like the biggest one is Starship / Space Station interior.
Interiors.
Which is closely followed up by alien ruins or mysterious artifacts. And then closely followed by outpost / base with surrounding terrain. Followed by futuristic city, and then a little bit below that is war-torn planetary battlefield, active alien city or outpost, and planetary landscape with mostly natural features.
I just want to make all of these things right now.
That's the thing, right? You give us enough time, and we will. You give us enough time, and we will do it all.
Want to do all?
Like
of
we
this
want
right
to do it all, but we can't do it all right off the bat.
There's easily 3 Kickstarters worth of material, right? Like. Star bases or whatever, like spaceships, like vessels, whatever you want to call it, space stations, spaceships, whatever. Out in space could be a whole thing. Mm-hmm. The base, like the land, something that's a land-based base. Obviously, the same pieces could build exterior, but there's a lot of interesting specialty stuff that would go together. And then terrain, like the alien, landscapes of aliens would be. Plus, then the alien thing. I don't know. You could just go forever.
This question wasn't helpful. It was kind of helpful. It lets us know that there's nothing that people absolutely don't want to see.
Well, no, learning that a lot of people wanted to use it for RPGs.
Yeah.
And learning that there's a preference for interiors is like, there's...
Talking about the last question.
Yeah.
It does seem like there's a preference for interiors over everything else.
Yep.
At least. What styles of sci-fi do you prefer? This is another one that is super split. Biggest one is Distressed Interstellar, like Firefly / original Star Wars. Closely followed by sleek interstellar, like modern Star Trek or Battlestar Galactica.
Can I tell you how hotly debated these categories were internally? Like trying to settle on, because it's really hard to like narrow, because this stuff sort of blends all over the place. Like Star Wars spans multiple flavors and variables, so it was like trying to kind of encapsulate these into like zones that were easier to pick was really hard.
There was so much discussion around how to, because that's the thing with sci-fi is. More so than with fantasy, like basically every sci-fi property has a very distinct aesthetic.
There's very
and
was retrofuturism? Did that get killed?
I think that's here. No, retrofuturism is here. Original Star Trek. It was the worst performing.
Yeah. Well, because it's it's.
Let's see.
And that's funny enough. That was the original sci-fi stuff.
Also did really well was hyper-urbanized city like Cyberpunk, Shadowrun, or Blade Runner. And then science
Because
fantasy.
who doesn't want to wander around those places?
And then science fantasy for like Starfinder was also doing
Yeah.
pretty well. Grimdark, post-apocalyptic, and biomechanical, so like Alien are up there. Lowest ones were steampunk, alien biological landscape like Avatar, and the retrofuturism.
Yeah.
So big standout, if anything.
That's Star Wars.
Firefly/original Star Wars is actually, compared to the rest, it's actually a good. There's a bigger gap between that and the next thing below it than basically anything else. So it does kind of stand out as a favorite. It's the only thing over 4 points. So, how likely are you to purchase the following types of sci-fi terrain? Almost all of these got split. There is one that was over 10, so that's good. The most popular, the only one with over 8,000, was spaceship interiors.
Turns out,
There you go.
There's a theme here, Chris.
Yeah,
People don't want to go inside a ship.
and that's the thing is, through all of them, it really does seem like
Interiors is a recurring,
But also, nothing else dipped under 3 points. But this is the only thing that was over 4 points.
Well, basically, it means we could do maybe our first foray is interiors, and then we can take this rocket anywhere.
It seems like the safest thing is like an original Star Wars style interior system. Is what seems like the most popular across all these questions. How likely are you to purchase sci-fi pieces with these special features? This was interesting.
It's
also
another
mostly split. Man.
I forgot how I haven't looked at this survey in months, and I forgot how just evenly distributed.
Once we got into specifics, basic LEDs the most popular. Controllable LEDs second most popular. Right underneath that, underlit pieces like for the light panel.
Where
and
did lasers? Where did lasers go?
Lasers. It's on the lower end. It's like the fourth lowest. It's right above. I'll focus on pieces without features like these. Literally by 6 votes. It's 6 votes over. I don't want special effects.
I mean, not in this initial one, but you know, there's going to be lasers.
Crystal Soul is like, ooh, sci-fi alien monsters. Yes. No matter what we do, we'd have to do at least 1 or 2 minis, right?
Crystal had the coolest monster suggestion for cities.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we can't say.
We can't talk about it.
Can't say it. Just in case.
Just such an Anyway.
But we already talked about the unicorn.
Yeah.
The lowest thing, so tied for lowest, was video screens and working motors, which I'm kind of glad we don't have to. Oh no, actually, lowest was fog machine compatibility, which is surprising.
Yeah.
But
people don't want those little moving doors.
Do we have moving doors in here? Oh, is that what working motors?
Well, that's
would be?
working motors. Yeah.
I wonder if we had phrased it like that, if we'd said like working doors.
Airlock doors.
I wonder if that would have, because every time we bring up airlock doors, people lose their minds. I think they didn't tie that to working motors.
Well.
Which single thing would you like include in a? Oh, then there was this. Then it became the written answer question.
Oh, this was it. Oh yeah.
Which
what did you get from the written answers, Chris?
I don't know if we want to show this whole thing.
No. It's hundreds of thousands.
It's thousands of answers.
Yeah.
We had I counted it out. We had 86 of them started with the word alien. So that's something. A good amount actually.
Oh, Ray did that really cool word map.
Ray did a word map that was.
Yeah.
Let me see if I'm gonna find that, and I'll actually show the word map because Ray did that, and it was a very cool thing. One of the things that I saw that was like a pretty constant trend was this is interesting. Like not even talking about features, but saying a buy-in pledge or a basically starter set at a low price point that gives you everything you need.
Yeah.
Like a low
Well,
way.
it's hard to give you defining everything you need is everything you need to build the entire enterprise, probably not possible, but everything you need to build an encounter, definitely. Yeah. I mean, it seems like the set is, I mean, that's what the set is, right? We do the cool interior, I don't know, interiors set.
From Ray.
Yeah, I'm. Moral of the story is there's still a lot to be figured out. We don't know when. We don't know when exactly we're going to do this. Mostly because we we have to figure out, like I want to kind of have the big picture figured out a little bit before we do this one specific thing, because similar to like Wildlands, we spent a whole bunch of time developing the forest for Caverns Deep and kind of figured out escarpments for the beginning of the mountains. Did a bunch of development on that, dipped our toe in before we figured out like the full Wildlands. So similarly, I want to take the development time to kind of figure out what we're doing as a whole. Like we had I don't know, a large chunk of the pieces for Wildlands were already kind of figured out by the end of Caverns Deep because we were doing that first race. So similarly, I'd like to figure out a big sense of the offering
All right.
before we do this.
So here's
thing,
the
so
word
we
map.
can do it right.
So what Ray did is Ray took all of the word data from the written answers, and he generated this word map to see which words came up the most out of all of them. As you can see, Dwarven Forge is very popular. But you see a lot of spaceship, starship, spaceship, spaceship interior, starship interior.
Fantasy. It's
Fantasy up
interesting.
there.
Dungeon is in there. Cavern, corridor.
Yeah.
Space Hulk. Spaceship, space station. Spaceship with a space.
Like a lot of these
Starship,
words seem
Star,
focused on interiors.
Firefly.
Phi piece is that's a good point.
Peace. Psi.
Yeah, so some of these words obviously are going to be
DFPs.
not the best.
Space station interior.
The things that interest
Starship
me the
interior.
most are the ones that
Spaceship interior.
the things that interest me the most are the ones that are like specific rooms that were said often enough that they fit in here, like engine room, control room, cargo bay.
Well, places that you're likely to have a combat,
yeah,
right? Or where there's stakes, right? You're fighting in the engine room, like you could blow the whole ship up. Like
Yeah.
you could, things that the stakes are high. The cargo bay, like the doors open, you get sucked out into the vacuum of space, game over.
and what that tells me is whatever bread and butter we come up with when we do interiors, we should have the concept like in the back of our heads we should be thinking, how can these be used to create hero locations? How can these
Yep.
be used to create
Yeah, where's an interesting,
Yeah.
like you don't just want to make a ship, you want to make interesting places on the ship or the base or whatever to have an encounter. It's just like a dungeon, right? You want to make just a cool, noteworthy place to have an encounter. So anyway, the moral of the story is we have a bunch to figure out, and we could just sort of slap off a thing, but I'd rather figure it out and make sure we're laying down kind of the groundwork for something bigger and epic. So we, we gotta do it right.
Because also the reality of the situation is our first time stepping into it, and if we do it right and it goes really well, it becomes super easy to green light than just going like super hard on making more sci-fi stuff.
Yeah.
If we land this, we'd really like to land it.
Yeah, stick the landing.
Yeah.
Make sure it's awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
But
it's gonna. I'm really excited.
same. There's some definite
Some
trends, and I think what I like about it is I feel like the things that it was trending towards are things that are also leaning into our strengths pretty well. I think a lot of it is people thinking about what it is that we do well with our sets, just in terms of like being able to make like modular interiors.
I think we could do any of it well, Chris. No, seriously, like there's not a single thing
I think it leans
on
into
that
the
list that
stuff.
we couldn't do well.
I think it leans into the stuff that we do well that other people haven't figured out.
Yeah.
Is what I mean.
I want to figure out the things that people like. Yeah, I want to do some like There's fun.
Well, because you know what the biggest thing is we still need to also
The
approach
Death
it.
Star.
Yes.
Okay.
The biggest thing is we need to approach it from like the angle of same thing we do with the fantasy, which is like that guiding thing of like, what can you not do on grid paper?
Graph paper.
What
Yep.
have people been having to do on graph paper forever because they haven't had terrain for their sci-fi games? What elements can we add? And especially when you consider one thing that happens with a lot of sci-fi games is you're talking about a lot of people who are generally speaking fighting with ranged weapons a lot of
Yes.
the time, which is, in fantasy you'll have people with bows and stuff, but a majority of people in your fantasy games,
Melee tends to be at least half of what's going on.
there's at least
Like,
more of a melee focus in fantasy than there is in sci-fi, generally
Yep.
speaking. You've got lightsabers or whatever, but so the
chain
idea,
swords. Like,
yeah. So I feel like the idea of potentially cover systems and stuff like that potentially being something that we think about. How can you show cover in a way that you can do on graph paper? Because that's a bigger thing in like
Yeah.
blaster battles.
just cool, multi levels like going up, right? Vertical.
Like maybe a catwalk system would be like. There's
amazing.
a lot of really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, it's fun stuff to explore. But I don't know when we're going to do it yet. But we're percolating, because we mentioned last week, 2 weeks ago.
Oh right.
Our cities Kickstarter we're pushing it back because we want to get all the Wildlands shipped, and we don't know when it's going to ship. Right? We can't even get this restock in the water. We've been trying to get that in the water. It's going to be 6 weeks late at least before it's out. Much less, whatever. And that's not even. So I don't know we don't know when Wildlands is going out, what that timeline is like, and we really want to wait on cities till that's done. So we're pushing cities to early 2021, but you heard it here first, Big Beans. We're going to do a very small surprise Kickstarter in the place of it in late October, early November. Short, small scope, non-terrain Kickstarter for something fun, which should be interesting. It's something that doesn't require us to figure out like a whole sci-fi system. Something that we could pop in. So it's not going to require. You don't need to save up thousands of dollars. I mean, you could. I'm not gonna,
I'd be astounded what somebody could do with thousands of dollars.
I don't know, we'll see. But it's gonna be something fun. It's gonna be slightly out of what we normally do, but it's something different. It's not really out there.
Yeah.
So we will announce it. So here's what's gonna kill you. We're gonna announce it at Gen Con. Is when we can make the official announcement of what it is. We should be launching like the last week of October. But it's not terrain. It's not really taking away from our terrain. It's letting us explore a couple of things that we wouldn't normally. Plus we have some development stuff we have to figure out on cities anyway. We're trying some stuff that we're hitting some roadblocks on. So hopefully it'll be a fun little detour, or maybe it's the thing you say, I can skip that and I'll wait till cities. It gives you more time to save it for cities. What are you laughing at over there?
Everybody's like demanding beans and everything. Somebody's saying like, "Oh, are we doing coins?"
Yep, more coins. It's confirmed.
Just a bunch of coins.
Just coins.
An Electrum Kickstarter.
No, we're gonna do something we've never done. Something we haven't done before. Something that's not out. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
But we will. Maybe we sneak the week before Gen Con. We sneak a teaser out here, but no.
I don't want to say anything, but
Yeah.
I'm very excited about it. It's a cool thing. I think everybody's gonna like it.
We'll see. It's I don't know. It's really fun to do a something that has a tiny scope that's like doesn't have any baggage. Like it doesn't need to work with any other system, so we don't have to it's sort of a quick fun project.
Everybody's asking when Gen Con is, so they know.
September 16th, I believe.
So a little over 2 months.
No, it's more than 2 months.
Is it?
Wait.
Is it September's the 9th
you're
month,
right.
It's a little over
Holy
2 months.
moly.
Did that just make everything very real for you? Well, you realize how far away October is?
I felt like it was 4 months.
It's a little over 3 months.
That's not good.
October is less than the start of October is less than 3 months away.
The scale of this Kickstarter is getting smaller every day.
We can't possibly blow the scale out of proportion.
No.
There's
not
way.
enough time.
It's entirely unlike us.
Well, that's 2 months we have to answer. Okay, so that's not too long away. But anyway, so don't be vexed. This isn't slowing down, and we're not doing this in lieu of the terrain Kickstarter. It's not taking away from the terrain Kickstarter. And it should be, I don't know, something fun and different.
Yeah.
And a test in, can we do a tiny Kickstarter and not lose our minds?
Everybody's asking if we're going to bring Build of the Month back because of it.
Oh, so I don't know what our no, not until after because we're a pretty tight timetable to launch this thing. Basically, it's going to be we have some new workflows that we're going to try. Like it's a nice way to test out some on our end, like some methodology and our processes. Like try it on a smaller thing that has like. I don't want to say it has no stakes because obviously there's stakes, but it's not like our big mega Kickstarter where like we got to have the thing hit. It's like it's a chance for us to like hey, can we get our workflow from start to finish like smoother and faster and easier to navigate, and make the offer easier, and get the page up before we launch, and all this, all this stuff that's like on a small scale should be fun.
Yeah. They're asking if we can do a build of the quarter.
Yeah.
Just to build every 3 months.
And we will get build of the month will be back at some point. We're just this next. Where are we? Within 2 months. Yeah, we got 3 months to get this thing out, and then yeah.
What's that castle that we have a lot
Castle
of?
Grayskull.
That's really cool, but it's very big. Necromancer's.
The Necromancer's Keep.
Let's just slap a gift card on that and call it a build of the month.
That one is a fun one. That was a.
It's really cool, but
yeah,
we got a lot of them. Let's put a gift card on it. Yeah. So yeah, there's your beans for the day.
Yeah, that's a good one to go out on.
People kind of lost their mind.
It is. But it's also this little Kickstarter isn't in lieu of doing sci-fi, like sci-fi. Like I was trying to explain, the sci-fi is a bigger thing to crack, because we're trying to look at it as a whole. Like, hey, if we're gonna do a sci-fi Kickstarter, what does that look like? And then what's the smaller, like what's the small bite-sized morsel of that we can do, and make sure it all sort of is a family that makes sense.
What are the long-term plans so that we can figure out the best first thing?
Yeah. Just make sure it all, like, we don't want to back ourselves in the corner. We're continuously fighting the tyranny of our past decisions.
I need to know if I need to sell the kids by school time in August.
No, it's not. This is not going to be a bank breaker.
Yeah, the goal of this is not to be a massive buy-in thing.
Yeah, I mean, that being said, if you wanted to spend $1,000, you could.
We'll let you.
Yeah, but you probably, probably that most people will. I haven't figured out. Probably most people will like. I think the average thing will be about $150 or $25. I don't know where the most popular split.
That's a really big range. Or do you mean like $100?
Those are two pledge. No, I mean $25 or like $150 or something. I think.
Oh,
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't have the offer fully figured out, but I think those are sort of the two sweet spots in the offer of like what like here's the small thing, here's like the big thing.
Will the sci-fi Kickstarter be part of the regular Kickstarter rotation with fantasy, or its own timetable? That's one of the things we have to figure out.
Own timetable, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're going to do a pre-order between Kickstarters somewhere, and then.
Yeah, the sci-fi wouldn't be in place of a fantasy Kickstarter.
Yeah, well, it might not like when we'll do a pre-order to kind of test out our thing, especially if we're doing sculpting all in 3D or whatever or something,
Right. I mean,
kind
the
of
initial
test out. Yeah, the initial sci-fi offering will be a pre-order to the web store, and then or pre-order to the internet pre-order that we'll put on the web store, and then it'll probably lead to a full up mega Kickstarter, which will be in lieu of a fantasy one for that year.
Yeah,
but who knows? We'll see.
A lot of things happening back here. It's also why we've been fairly quiet news-wise, is we're working on a lot of stuff that can't be talked about.
Well, we're still getting, still trying to get Wildlands out the door.
There's also that.
Yeah, as well as there's a couple kind of interesting changes in how we're doing things for cities that we're trying out, and we're trying to get this other little thing cooking. Also, while expanding the office.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. Fun times. Yeah. And we're glad we could share it all with you guys. So we did it. We got to sci-fi.
We did it. We covered the sci-fi survey.
Oh, it's 9:30. I gotta go.
Which, I mean, honestly, we kind of told you everything we know about it at this point. Like, we haven't been developing or anything, really. We've just been thinking.
Yeah.
But yeah. Guys, thank you for joining us for a glut of really cool Wildlands test shots and the results of the sci-fi survey, what we learned. A glut's a good word. We need to use glut as for a piece at some point.
And if there's a bunch of gluts, they become a polyglot?
Yes, that's how that works.
Yeah. Fun. All right, so thank you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. We endlessly appreciate all of your support and your questions and your insights and your jokes and taking the time to hang out with us. Yeah. We'll keep you posted. We'll see you next week. Tomorrow is Hobby Hang.
Yes.
Next week we're back as usual. And I guess nothing else. It's kind of quiet in the forge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although hopefully we're gonna have some exciting stuff coming out the door soon. It's just been a lot of preparation and development.
Yeah.
Back here.
Well.
Yeah.
Gen Con. Gen Con. Should be fun.
Get your tickets for Gen Con.
I can't believe it's in 2 months.
Yeah. It's July, man.
All right. Well, good night, everybody. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Woo! 2 months.